Well, well, well. It is Saturday afternoon, and it's the football season. And there has been a lot of stuff going on. Micah Parsons and his agent decided to break the internet yesterday requesting a trade. I talked about this a little bit yesterday. It is now time to reveal the real truth that is starting to come down, whether people are realizing it or not. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. And we live. Let's go. Let's go. I'm sorry. I didn't want to do it. But somebody got to do it. Somebody got to be the bad guy. In actuality, I'm being the good guy. Let's go. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this live stream, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we go live or post another video. And if you haven't become a channel subscriber or a member yet, please do. We have a lot of great things covered up this season. Now let's talk facts. I told y'all on the live yesterday, I am still where I was, but I'm going to give you even some more truth on this. I'm still blaming Jerry Jones. 75% of this. I'm at 75. I could go more on y'all, but I know some of y'all can't handle it. And I'm telling you now, if you sensitive, roll up out of here. If you sensitive, this ain't for sensitive folk. This is for sensible folk. Folk who want to hear another perspective, listen to the facts, come to the right conclusion, people who want to hear the truth. That's what this is for. And I told y'all yesterday, Micah Parsons, 25% guilty. And I'm gonna lump his agent in with this. And I'm gonna let him and Micah Parsons share in that 25%. And as a matter of fact, if I really want to get fancy, I'm gonna leave Micah at 25. I'm gonna put Jerry at maybe I can give Jerry even 50. And I'm gonna give Micah Parsons' agent another 25. Everybody wanna beat Jerry down. Wanna call people bootlickers. Wanna call people get mad because a Cowboy fan don't wanna totally denigrate Jerry Jones. We know Jerry Jones do stupid stuff. And the stupid thing that Jerry didn't do in this one is Jerry should have really got this one done early. But I don't know if it would have got done early. Because Micah Parsons' agent, people need to know who he is. And I'm going to show you who he is. I don't think people understand who this man is. I don't think people understand who David Mulugeta is. And I'm going to tell you right now, I realized something after yesterday's show. Some more stuff came down. Did some digging. We were set up. Did I not tell y'all yesterday? The timing was impeccable. We were set up. Cowboy fans were set up. They knew that if they got this to the right people, because some of these Cowboy fans, quote unquote, I'm talking about Cowboy fans, content creators, ex-Cowboy players, people in the news, I'm talking about anybody here, the Cowboys, got a comment. Well calculated. And they know there are some players out there, and I'm not going to mention their name, I'm going to let you figure it out. There are some players out there who are bitter because of the way Jerry let them go. And they always ready to chime in on something. Even Micah Parsons himself called out one of them. Your time is gone, bro. Stop trying to chime in on stuff that's going on now. We're going to get into this. So let's get a quick, this is all about Micah Parsons and this contract. Let's get a quick roll call, and then we're going to get into some truth that is going to blow y'all's mind. Get this roll call. I'm going to try to make it about a minute or two so we can get right to it. Let's go. Saturday morning, let's go. Saturday afternoon. The Big Rombowski. Is Micah about to be traded to the Toronto? Is Micah about to be a Toronto Argonaut? Yes, sir. John Henry, let's go. Lord Nova, let's go. Cowboys Nation 600, what up? Let's go. Inglewood Trojans, let's go. Derek G in the crib, let's go. Jimbo, he said, G, I respect the hell out of your content. Keep doing your thing. Appreciate you, Jimbo. John Jones, it's a New Jack City. He said, what up, G Money? Corey Agger, Jerry destroying the Cowboys fans. Nah, Corey, I'm glad you tuned in today. I'm about to give you the truth on this matter about Micah Parsons, and I've been telling y'all, this ain't that. Corey, this ain't what happened with Dak and CD. I'm telling you, I'm glad you tuned in. Be patient. I'm gonna give you some truth. Bleeding Blue, what up? Alfredo Morales, what's going on? Jared Thomas, number one Dak Prescott fan. I'm number two. Yep. Is this a possible negotiation tactic by Parsons, or is he really upset? I'm gonna answer your questions. Micah Parsons seemed incredibly frustrated. Is he? And there have been Jalen Hurts fans I've seen blaming Dak. Really? We're gonna get some truth today, Jared. My sister, Niecy, who been here from the beginning. What's going on, Niecy? Alfredo. Oh, I already got you, Alfredo. D Mills. What's up? D Mills, I'm gonna agree with you on this. It's Micah's fault for thinking he can beat Buddy. Yep, that's a part of it. Abe Shepard, what up? Let's get it. Ice Cold Cowboy said, hit that like button. I agree, and Ice Cold Cowboy is cold. What's going on, Ice Cold Cowboy? Brady Mungia, what's going on? He said he missed the show last night to finish watching them today. Oh, we about to really get it going today. My brother Roderick, what's going on? All right, let me get a few more, then we gonna get into this. Mike 405, good morning, what's going on? Cowboy Hater Herder, I love that name. Cowboy Hater Herder said Micah needs to fire his dang self. Hey, I'm with you 1,000%. Yup, I'm with you. Robert M. 31, what's going on? Curly Brockman in the crib. He said, I thought you weren't gonna fall for it. Now I gotta get y'all the truth. Curly, I gotta get y'all the truth. I gotta do it. I can't leave it where it was yesterday. I gotta give y'all the truth. We back to football today. The Cowboys are practicing. Our next show today, we won't be talking about Micah Parsons unless he gets signed. But I want to hit y'all this morning before practice gets started, because I'm telling you, this ain't that. This is not what it used to be. Round 22, new to the channel. New Orleans born Cowboy fans, love the show, man. Appreciate you. All right, let's go. Anthony Beck in the crib. Appreciate you, Anthony Beck, for that follow. David J up in here. What's going on, David J? Lee Andrew Sims, what up? All right, let's get this thing going. Charlie Phoenix, Michael Big Baby. I agree with you on that too. John Joe said, I'm watching the Hall of Fame trying to wrap my head around the fact why the heck Darren Woodson not in the Hall of Fame yet. It's a travesty. It's a travesty. There is no way Darren Woodson shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. It's a travesty. Let's go. TJ Soul Rat Text. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. All right, Inglewood Trojans, back up in here. I see you. All right, I got a lot of information to cover. So, let me take us back to where we were yesterday. And I hope my man Poobie did get on today. Because y'all gonna call me a prophet before it's over. Let me read you this letter real quick again. Let me read you this letter, and I'm gonna show you where we are on this. Something popped off yesterday after we got done talking about this, after a lot of people got done talking about this, there was some more things, some more truth that started coming down the pike. So I want to go back and read this letter again. And I told you in this letter that this man indicted himself. And I told y'all yesterday, there is something, Micah Parsons obviously just either does what he wants to do, or he's got a terrible publicist and his agent needs some questions too. Maybe he needs to be fired. But maybe Micah is just stepping out in front of all of them. But I told y'all that this young man indicted himself in the letter. And some people were saying, well, how do you know? He didn't say this when he talked to Jerry. He didn't say this. He didn't say this. Okay. I'm going to show you how I know, and I didn't even have to hear nobody tell me this. It's the way he wrote the letter that tells you everything you need to know. And he's basically saying, don't hold me accountable. But I'm going to show you the real culprit. I'm going to show you the real culprit behind this, or part of this. Now, I want you to just think about some things that Jane Slater said. Jane Slater reported that there were people who had already talked about trading Micah Parsons. And the one who was against it was Jerry Jones. Everybody killing Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones was the one who didn't want to trade him. And I tell you this, y'all better be glad Steven ain't in control of this thing. Because if Steven was in control of this thing, Steven would be phoning, and he's probably still fielding calls right now. Let the right answer. I told y'all, they're trying to create a state of emergency. They may have created a state of urgency. It is already being reported that at least 2 or 3 teams have already started sending offer sheets to the Cowboys. Chicago Bears are here, sending or interested in Micah Parsons. Well, of course they are. Chicago, Buffalo Bills. We ain't surprised about the Washington Commanders, are we, Niecy? Dan Quinn always wants all the Dallas Cowboys castaways. There will be more teams sending down offers for one Micah Parsons, especially if they smell blood in the water and they think this is serious. And I can tell y'all this, I don't think none of it's going to happen. I'm not going to be shocked if something was to happen, but if it does happen, I bet you it's a Herschel Walker type trade. It's a Herschel Walker type trade, or at least what would be a Herschel Walker type trade for this day and time. So, it talked about how Micah Parsons would rub teammates the wrong way with his podcast. I talked about that early on in the season. Now, it talks about also, she said, that Micah Parsons wanted to actually leapfrog CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott and be paid before them. And I showed you yesterday in this letter, this young man was desperate, it seemed, to go ahead and get his contract taken care of. And so, this is the one I want you to pay attention to. Jane Slater, and I agree with her on this. Jane Slater said that both sides have to look in the mirror. See, she's not like everyone else. Now, she's not blatantly saying it, but she's where I am on this. She's not exonerating Micah Parsons. And the reason why she's not exonerating Micah Parsons is she can read. And I'm not saying that everybody can't read. But because of what my profession is and what my background is, I don't read things the way everyone else does. I read in what's called context. I want to know what's going on when this is written, and then I'm looking for clues inside of the letter to know what's being said. She says that both sides, and I agree, and Micah Parsons shares some blame in this. Now, I want to quickly run through the letter, because some of the things that Micah Parsons said in the letter, you're going to get where I'm going. That's why I'm going to do it quickly. But I want you to see how he wrote this. He says, I wanted to play in front of the best fans in sports and make this America's team once again. I told y'all yesterday, that's a crazy statement. No, you want to be here because this is America's team. Don't y'all think for a second Micah Parsons wants to be traded. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. Micah Parsons is nothing but a great player if he leaves the Cowboys. That's all he is. We won't care about him no more than we care about Trey Hendrickson's contract. The media won't pick up his story no more than they barely picked up the Trey Hendrickson the Trey Hendrickson story. The only way Micah Parsons will get traction on any story if he leaves the Cowboys, if he's successful, they'll say the Cowboys should have kept him and they'll beat the Cowboys and beat Jerry Jones down. If he's a failure, they'll say the Cowboys dodged a bullet. He will only be getting any press because of the Cowboys. But again, he goes on. He starts saying some more crazy stuff in here. He says, again, I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations. Some people said, oh, well, he didn't say anything about numbers. He didn't say anything about this. You want to bet? You want to bet? I told y'all yesterday, just read what he wrote. He said, as he kept talking, he said something that was very telling to me. This man said he went in to talk to Jerry Jones, and he said somehow, the conversation got on my contract. Somehow, Micah Parsons? Somehow. Okay. You want a contract extension. The first part of this letter shows this. If you read the first part, this is all he's talking about. How bad he wanted it. He said he told his agent to reach out after his third season. He then told him to reach out after the 2024 season. He says, but his agent informed him he should wait. And this is going to make sense in a moment. His agent informed him he should wait for other deals to get done. Micah is anxious, but his agent isn't. Michael is anxious, but his agent isn't. Let's get to the second part of this letter, the second page. Michael is anxious for this letter to get done. This deal to get done. Straight up anxious. All right, hold on a second. This thing is hard to navigate because of the way it was posted. So Michael gets to the second page. And so Michael says, again, you'll notice, he keeps staying on his agent about getting the deal done. Staying on the agent. Let the team know I'm ready to negotiate. Blah, blah, blah. Now, Jerry, keep in mind, in that season he wanted to get done. That was the Dak. That's the Dak and Michael's season. He wants to get done before them. Jerry and them says no. His agent is saying no again because in 2024, no. It's now time for other pass rushers to get paid. The price is going to go up. And so he got to this part. He said when he went to go talk to Jerry Jones about leadership, why would you be doing that? Why? I'm just saying, why? Why would you be doing that? That part was crazy to me. Why would you be doing that? But it says somehow, we ain't done. None of us are done. We know how it turned to it. I engaged in a back and forth in regards to what I wanted from my contract. But at no point did I believe. So you don't want to be held accountable for your own naivety? Commit a crime out of naivety. You're going to jail. You don't get off for stuff like this in a court of law. Now, in the court of public opinion, everybody is sensitive. Ooh, I understand. Jerry is wrong. Michael wrong too. Jerry wasn't talking to an 18-year-old teenager. Jerry talking to a 25, 26-year-old young man who has already been talking to his own agent, and his own agent should have been telling him, don't talk to Jerry about anything with your contract. Don't talk to anybody about your contract. Don't say anything about your contract without me. But Michael was doing this in the court of public opinion. He was doing it in interviews. He was doing all kinds of dumb stuff he shouldn't have been doing. So then he says that he told Jerry that his agent would reach out. Well, what do you think Jerry is expecting? What do you think Steven is expecting? That when they reach out, they're expecting, hey, this contract is done. But David Mulugheta, and I'm telling you, when David Mulugheta starts coming at Adam, whoever this is, the guy who does the Cowboys deals, he's like, what you talking about, bro? This thing done. This thing done. What are you talking about? There is no negotiation no more. The only thing you're supposed to be giving us today is, the only thing we're supposed to be doing today is you and Michael signing this contract. Steven and Jerry said the deal is done. And Michael says, and the team decided to go silent. See, Michael is talking like he didn't do anything wrong. Nah, bro, you did something wrong. If you married, you call your ex-girlfriend. Your ex-girlfriend call you. Your wife answers the phone. Your wife is furious, ready for a divorce. And your wife say, why your ex-girlfriend calling you? You don't get to say, I don't know why she calling me. Could it be you told her to call you? Could it be you told her to call you? Then she called you, then you start, now you're getting in trouble, you're tripping. No, you don't get to say they went radio silent. They're radio silent on you because they're ticked at what you did. Now, could the Joneses say, hey, you know what? No harm, no foul? They could. But you have to understand who David Mulugheta is. David Mulugheta is known for getting his players top dollar. And I'm going to show you that there's some stuff about David Mulugheta that's out there floating around. And so, at the end, he says, not one demand has been made by my agent about money, years, or anything. Why would it? Because Jerry and Steven aren't even hearing any more conversation past what y'all had. He says, still I stayed quiet, but again, after repeated shots at myself and all the narratives, tell me the shots. Jerry has been nothing but complimentary of Micah Parsons. The only thing Jerry said is that when you sign a player, don't mean they're going to be there. Because you can sign them and they might get hurt. Man, we've seen this from Trayvon Diggs, Dak Prescott. We've seen this. We've seen it from Michael Gallup. We've seen it. Jerry just made a statement. Wasn't a shot, just saying, hey, just because we signed him don't mean we're going to have him. So calm down. The narratives. What's the narratives? I've heard no narratives about Micah Parsons. None. Nothing. I've heard nothing about Micah Parsons. Especially from the Cowboys. This is a bunch of bull junk, in the words of Deion Sanders. He said, I've made a tough decision. I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones. I'm sorry, but if I'm Micah Parsons' teammates, I'm furious. And a lot of people don't realize, as these players, some of these players have been making Micah Parsons' picture, putting his picture on their profile or whatever. Understand this. Do y'all not realize those same players? Y'all are bashing Jerry Jones. Do y'all realize those same players love Jerry Jones? They love Jerry Jones. If you don't think CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Oso Digizua, Jake Ferguson, all these players, if you don't think they love Jerry Jones, you're missing it. But the culprit in this is David Mulugheta. He's a big part of this. And let me show you something. Do y'all remember when I did this story? See, y'all gonna realize how far ahead of the game we've actually been on this story. This is why we haven't had to talk about it. We've been so ahead of the game on this story because I'd already reported on this. Y'all remember when I put this up? The Joneses are at war. With who? Athletes first. Cowboys are at war with athletes first. All these players on this list, they're with athletes first. And one of the most, I don't want to call him cutthroat, but one of the hardest negotiators on this list, you might think it's Todd France. No. It is David Mulugheta. And I realized something yesterday after we got off the air. David Mulugheta played everybody. David Mulugheta played everybody. He talked Micah Parsons into playing everybody. Let me show you another picture of David Mulugheta so you can really understand where I'm about to go. We are about to deep dive on David Mulugheta. I'm going to come to some of your comments here in a moment, but we're about to deep dive on David Mulugheta. You got to understand who David Mulugheta is. David Mulugheta has been responsible for some of the biggest deals in football, but also some of the biggest failures in football. He has been a part of some of the biggest trades in football. And the reason why he's been a part of some of these humongous trades is because some of these teams said, heck to the no. We ain't doing this. These teams said, heck to the no. No, we're going to call your bluff, David Mulugheta. Let's go down the rabbit hole on who this guy is, because I don't think people understand who he is. I want you to see his profile picture on X. Let me see if I can find it. I had it up on the what's the name here. Let me show you how scary it is. I'm going to show you something that people may not be paying attention to. This is David Mulugheta. This is David Mulugheta. Hold on a second. Let me just show you who David Mulugheta is. And it is absolutely scary in the grand scheme of things. The Cowboys got a battle on their hands. There's no other way to slice it. They have a battle on their hands. This dude, David Mulugheta. Let me see. I may have to pull it up on my other thing here. Hold on. This dude, David Mulugheta, is about to be a problem. And if anything happens with the Cowboys, y'all better understand something. Don't blame this on Jerry. Nope. Don't blame this on Jerry. And do not blame it. If you're going to blame Jerry, don't blame Jerry 100%. You better give this dude, David Mulugheta, some Otis in this. Because I'm telling you, this dude, David Mulugheta, is cut from a different cloth. I want to show you his advertisement on his Instagram. And he is very, very proud of it. Y'all give me just a second. I got to show you this man's picture. Because when I saw this man's picture, it's literally scary when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. This is David Mulugheta. It's a nice looking dude. But I want you to see something what it says here at the bottom. David Mulugheta, first agent in NFL history to negotiate over $1 billion in NFL contracts in 1 year. This is who we're dealing with. I want you to look at some of these players. And some of these players I was looking at, I was like, wait a minute. He's got is that Christian Wilkins back there? Jalen Ramsey? Jordan Love. Two of these players didn't even pan out. They're ready to throw Christian Wilkins in the trash. Jordan Love has only had a half of a good season. Now I see how he got that deal, because how in the world did this dude get that deal? There's no way Jordan Love off one season should have got that deal, but he did. David Mulugheta, ladies and gentlemen. Then I'm waiting on Mike Fisher. I'm hoping that Mike Fisher elaborates on this. This came down yesterday after I got off live, and I said, here it is right here. Look. Look at what Mike Fisher reported. Let me blow this up for you. Mike Fisher said, Agent David Mulugheta. Did Agent David Mulugheta cleverly orchestrate today's whole Cowboys doo-doo show? Hint. Yup. Nope, no hint. Didn't I tell y'all yesterday? The timing was impeccable. He didn't do it on any of the Cowboys' practice days. He waited until the Cowboys were off and drops a megaton bomb so that he can draw all the attention towards Micah Parsons. And then through a letter, try to make Micah Parsons into a sympathetic figure. Through a letter, try to destroy Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones in the front office and make them pariahs in the court of public opinion. I'm telling you, this social media age is wicked. It will denigrate the innocent. It'll free the wicked. It'll free the guilty. This social media age is diabolical. Social media a lot of times don't care about the facts. See, I realized something about a quote-unquote content creator like me. I'm not the kind of content creator that a lot of these people are used to. I noticed something yesterday. It was mind-blowing to me. How so many content creators, they couldn't wait to jump on the story. They couldn't wait to jump on the negativity. They couldn't wait to get there. They couldn't wait because they love when they get to rip on Jerry Jones. They love it. They can't wait. Oh, Jerry this, Jerry that. Yeah, we know. We know Jerry's done a lot of dumb stuff in 30 years. He's been the common denominator. We know that Jerry waits too long on contracts. We know that Jerry didn't play in free agency. We know that Jerry wouldn't bring in free agents rarely. We know a whole lot of things about Jerry Jones, but we also know that Jerry Jones loves the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones loves his players. Jerry Jones has made the Cowboys into a $10 billion franchise, the most popular franchise in the world. Jerry Jones has done so many things for the NFL. Jerry Jones is in the Hall of Fame for a reason. Jerry Jones. I don't know. He is what he is. And just because some of us don't choose to hate him and just acknowledge that he does dumb things, he's a great owner, terrible GM, could be an elite owner if maybe he had another GM that wasn't named Jerry Jones. But nevertheless, people try to turn a franchise against a owner that the players absolutely love, and then try to hype a player up to go against his boss, who is the owner, who signs his checks, when these same people, I bet you, they won't barely even look side out at their own boss on their own job. Man, let me tell you something. You're a millionaire. You better stop listening to people who making $3.35 an hour. You better listen to some folk who got some sense. And Micah Parsons, his agent, playing in the court of public opinion. And unfortunately for Micah Parsons, he's listening to someone who is all about the money. See, this is why I told y'all in the beginning when Micah Parsons said I didn't have to be the highest paid. That had to be hyperbole. Because you don't hire David Mulugheta. Do y'all remember the picture I just showed you? You don't hire this man right here and say you don't have to be the highest paid player. No, when you hire this man right here, you know what you're saying? I have to be the highest paid player. Somebody got to tell the truth and I'm going to tell it. This dude, David Mulugheta, is a shrewd operator. And that letter that Micah Parsons wrote, this man was fully on board with it. Well calculated, full on board with it. I'm going to show you some other things about David Mulugeta. But I'm going to show you before I do that, for all you folk who thought I was crazy, Jane Slater. Jane Slater came down again after all the talk. Jane Slater decided to come down and really give some more clarity to people who were pushing back on me yesterday. She gave some more clarity. Jane Slater said, I've talked to a number of people with knowledge of this situation and accounts vary, so I'll keep it down the middle. As of August 1st, there has not been one written offer sheet submitted to Micah's agent. Nothing. Look at this. Number 2, numbers were discussed. Did I not tell y'all this yesterday? Somebody said, well, Micah, he maybe wasn't even talking about numbers. You think Micah Parsons talking about injury clauses? We really think that Micah Parsons is talking about incentives? This man is flat out talking about numbers. Numbers were discussed as it is related to what Micah Parsons felt his value was during a meeting that Jerry called to discuss his leadership role. It's unclear who prompted that. You think this is only Jerry? Nope. One side said Micah did. The other side said Jerry did. They're both at fault. And they both knew full well what they were about to discuss. And if y'all are faulting Jerry, y'all need to understand that Jerry is the owner of the Cowboys. Jerry is the GM of the Cowboys. And it is Jerry's job. See, where it's David Mulugeta's job to get Micah Parsons the most money on his contract. It's Jerry Jones' job to not get Micah Parsons the most money on his contract. That's Jerry Jones' job. That's what the GM job is. Do y'all think the GM job is actually to assign the player to what he wants? The GM, his job is to try and get this man for as cheap as he can. Why? Not because he wants to devalue him. He's got other players. He's got other players to pay. We got to pay Ty Smith. We got to pay Ty Smith. We have to pay Deron Bland. We have to pay Brandon Aubrey. We got players to pay. Guys like Sam Williams will be coming down the pike next year. We have guys to pay. It is Jerry's job. It's a GM's job to get the player at as little money as you can. It says that meeting lasted 2 to 3 hours. Look, Jerry felt good about the negotiation, but once Micah got his agent involved, Jerry been saying this. We don't like it, but Jerry been saying this. Y'all remember Jerry at the meeting? I talked to the principal. Y'all know Jerry be talking about a dragonfly on the back of a bullfrog going across the river, and you like, what is Jerry talking about? Let me translate. I talked to the player. The agent is not the principal. The player is. And Jerry was saying something that people don't like. It's the player that ultimately makes the decision. And if I talk to the player, Jerry is saying, and a lot of people don't like it, but Jerry is saying that if I talk to the player and I come to a deal with the player, then what do I need the agent for other than him signing the contract? And his money, he's just making money for free. Jerry would love for it not to be any agents. I'm pretty sure a lot of teams would love for it to not be any agents. I'm not against agents, but I'm telling us, if there aren't any stands made against these agents, they are not only going to be running the NFL, there will be a day that the players won't even be in the NFLPA meetings. It will be agents. The players are not even going to sit there. The agents are going to sit there. And the agents are going to be negotiating against the NFL. I'm telling you, we better hope that day don't come. But if we do, this league is literally going to be ran by players. It says, the agent allegedly said they would not be discussing a contract until after all the edge rusher deals were complete. Does that not match Micah Parsons' letter? Does that not match Micah Parsons' letter? Micah Parsons said, his agent said, we're not signing anything or doing anything. He said, let's wait because there are other edge rushers coming up and the price is only going up. Does this not match? It says, the agent said we would not be discussing a contract till all the edge rusher deals were complete. Another tells me that's inaccurate. His agent has been trying to talk since last year. But didn't Micah write that? It says, calls to the front office this summer has not been returned. I believe it. It was insinuated that if Micah didn't get a deal done, that a trade was a possibility. No, it's not. David Mulugeta cannot initiate a trade. Micah Parsons cannot initiate a trade. Only the Joneses can initiate a trade. I'm laughing at people talking about, ooh, state of emergency. How? How's it a state of emergency? Micah can't trade himself. His agent can't trade himself. They can't even deny a trade. The big Rombowski said trade him to the Toronto Argonauts. Well, he can say no. He can say no. We know they're not trading him nowhere like that. But if they traded him to any team in the NFL, what are you going to say? No. This man has no control over his football future for the next 3 seasons. And if the Joneses wanted to be real shrewd operators, it's almost to the point the Cowboys could tag him 2 times and come out cheaper than that contract. If they really want to be shrewd operators, but I don't think they do. It says Michael didn't take this decision lightly and is prepared for the fallout, but ultimately I'm told he feels disrespected and they tried to take advantage of him in the negotiation process. Bro, you put yourself in that situation. You telling me that Jerry brings up your contract and you can't simply tell him, I'm not talking about my contract, I'm leaving that to my agent. Stephen Jones said point blank range, that's exactly what Dak Prescott did when they tried to talk to him without his agent. Stephen Jones said players like Dak Prescott do not want to talk anything but football if he's talking to you. He didn't want to talk about anything with his contract. Come on, Micah Parsons. People want to exonerate this man, and he wants to be exonerated for doing something as a grown young man. All you had to tell the Joneses was, no, I'm not talking about my contract. Now let's keep talking about this leadership thing. Come on, man. People don't want the whole truth. They want the truth they want, and the truth they want is not the truth. It says Michael remains at camp and will continue to remain there. And I'm telling you this too. Tell me anything you want to about Micah Parsons being there. If Micah Parsons wasn't there, do you not realize the money he would be losing? He would also be losing money. I'm telling you, this thing with Micah Parsons is utterly ridiculous. And it is well calculated. And it was orchestrated by him and by David Mulugeta. The timing is impeccable. This trade talk stuff. Y'all really believe that Micah Parsons wants to be traded from the Cowboys? I don't believe it for a second. Micah Parsons without the Cowboys is just another great player. That's all he is. There is a mystique that comes with the Cowboys. Dak Prescott even knows this. Dak Prescott said winning a Super Bowl in Dallas, it's different. You win one in Dallas, it's different. Your whole life is made. Your whole life is made if you win a Super Bowl in Dallas, especially in a pivotal position like quarterback, wide receiver, edge rusher, linebacker. I'm telling you, it is, you can't even quantify what it means. Micah Parsons is now under the leadership and the guidance of David Mulugeta. This letter from David Mulugeta, or this letter from Micah Parsons, David Mulugeta fully aware of it. David Mulugeta wanted him to release that letter because he wants to put the crunch on the Dallas Cowboys through the court of public opinion. You want to know why? Because this contract is different than Dak Prescott's contract. They have no leverage. They have no leverage. So I did some more digging on David Mulugeta. Because I'm like, this is kind of crazy. This whole thing with David Mulugeta. And then I realized something about David Mulugeta. While David Mulugeta has this history of getting these big contracts, David Mulugeta also has a history of, there have been some players that had to let David Mulugeta go because unless they let David Mulugeta go, there was not going to be a contract for him. Over here, this was written on Reddit. And I'm telling you, man, Reddit, these guys be on it as far as some of this crazy stuff goes. So it was written 8 months ago. T. Higgins and NFL agent David Mulugeta have parted ways. They are no longer working together. Higgins is currently playing on the franchise tag and would be seeking a long-term deal in the offseason. Isn't it strange what happened after David Mulugeta got fired? Let go is a fancy word for fired. When David Mulugeta got fired, or quote unquote, let's just say let go. When he got let go, isn't it strange that T. Higgins got a deal? T. Higgins finally got a deal. T. Higgins finally got a deal. And you can go down historically and find this stuff on David Mulugeta. But I'm going to show you the article that I found that was the most interesting out of all of them. There's a long article written on David Mulugeta. And this was written by somebody that is obviously a Cowboys fan. And it talks about in this contract, in this letter, that the Cowboy fans better buckle up. Cowboy fans better buckle up because David Mulugeta is a shrewd operator. He is a shrewd operator. It says Michael's agent, David Mulugeta, is another max money guy like Todd France. Yeah, it's obvious. He prides himself as the billion-dollar man who just recently became the first agent in NFL history to negotiate $1 billion in a single year. David currently has 11 clients from 10 different teams who have him as their representation and has had numerous others in the past. David has built quite the reputation recently, being a max money agent, the kind of agent who gets his top clients who are up for new deals, maximum profit, and highest guarantees. He's the same agent who conned the Browns into Deshaun Watson's contract. Y'all ready for this? Deshaun Watson contract is going to go down in history as the worst contract ever. And I'm telling you, I've noticed something about this man's clients. He gets them these deals, they fall off a cliff. Tell me what Jordan Love has been since he got that deal. Tell me what he's been. We're still waiting on the Jordan Love that had that half a good season. Tell me what he's done since then. I could be mistaken, but that looked like Christian Wilkins. I could be wrong. And that's not saying all his players fall off. I'm sure he's got some very good clients. But the other part of this equation is not only do some of those clients fall off, some of those clients wind up getting traded. Buckle up. I'm telling you right now. I told y'all last week or week before last. I'm gonna tell you again. The Cowboys are at war with these agents, in particular athletes first. And David Mulugeta, when you call yourself the $1 billion man, this man conned the Browns into the Deshaun Watson contract without them even seeing him play much for them after missing a year. Jordan Love, anybody? He is also the same agent. Look at this. I hadn't even read this thing yet. I saw it. I'm reading it to y'all, and what I'm reading is the first time I'm reading it. But I just know when I saw the pictures of the people around him, I started thinking of the stories. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on a second. These players this dude represents, they get their money and and if they don't necessarily fall off a boat, they don't play the same way after they get those deals. It says he got the Packers to pay Love his contract, which was considered at the time the high number for a half a season. I didn't even read this. I'm telling you. They paid this dude top dollar for half a season. He ain't been there since. He's also the rep for Christian Wilkins. I knew that was his picture. What's going on with Christian Wilkins now? The Raiders want to get rid of him. I'm telling you. Jalen Ramsey, Buda Baker, Jesse Bates, Derwin James. See, I'm going to tell you something about this dude, David Mulugeta, where he's genius. He's very good at talking up his players. He's very good at talking them up. He's very good at creating an anxiety around them that if you don't pay my player, your team, I'm sure he's telling them that your team is not going to win. And not only that, we'll just take our services somewhere else. Okay. We'll see what the Joneses do on this, but I told y'all this a few weeks ago. At some point, the Joneses are going to have to stand up against these agents. See, this isn't just about Micah and Jerry. See, this is where a lot of these people out there are wrong, and they're making this about Jerry and Micah. This is not just about Jerry and Micah. This is about Jerry, Micah, and David Mulugeta. That's where we are. It says none of these high-end players took any discounts for their contracts, and some wound up getting traded from their respective teams while being a client. Okay. Y'all think those players putting Micah Parsons' picture up, y'all think that's them rallying against Jerry? Have you ever considered they could be rallying against David Mulugeta? Have you ever considered that they might be saying, man, hey man, your agent tripping. You want to be traded from the Cowboys? Come on, man. This is crazy work. It's wicked work. Straight up and down with no special effects. This is wicked work. And while I can get with Cowboy fans who are mad at Jerry Jones, what I can't get with Cowboy fans, content creators, and media members who are blaming this solely on Jerry Jones. The evidence itself speaks to this. This is not a Jerry Jones issue by himself. What Jerry Jones is basically telling us is that I don't want to be fleeced by David Mulugeta because that's exactly what's about to happen. Jesse Bates and David were asking for Jamal Adams' money from Cincinnati before Bates got traded. And speaking of Cincinnati, David was the agent fired by T. Higgins 7 months ago for the way he was negotiating with the Bengals front office. As soon as David was gone and replaced by the same agent that represented Chase, the deal was done. Because the Bengals front office absolutely hated working with David, and T didn't particularly like how he was handling things either. Micah's going to have to realize this dude works for him. And David Mulugheta, listen to how Micah Parsons talk. Yeah, David is like family. David brought us down for the cookout, brought the family. He creates this family atmosphere similar to what Brian Schottenheimer is doing. He creates this family atmosphere, and he says, athletes first, athletes against the owners. You get them for everything you can get them for. Michael, I am not opposed to Michael getting his money. But these agents, they're getting out of hand. Because a lot of people don't understand. They have a very good incentive. The more money they get their client, the more money they get. And you don't think when they're working out those deals, and I'm not mad at them, it's the business. But when they're working out those deals, they're working out deals for themselves too. And they may be holding out not for the player, they're holding out for themselves. I know the Bengals front office isn't the best in the world, but it doesn't really seem like David is the type of agent who really wants to make compromises or meet in the middle. He wants a certain number or he's going to take extreme measures. A la writing a letter and putting it on social media saying that Micah Parsons has submitted personally a trade request to the Dallas Cowboys, and then the court of public opinion, which is social media, which is not a real place. People going by their opinion. I told y'all yesterday, keep listening to people on social media. They'll have you in jail, broke, and no relationships. Now listen to these people on social media. It's amazing to me how many of these people on social media, they think they work for the Cowboys. You don't work for the Cowboys. I don't work for the Cowboys. I work for me. The Cowboys don't have to listen to me. And the fan base. I'm not telling this fan base who to listen to. Some of these people, they want to make sure only listen to people who agree with me. I'm not telling you that. All I'm telling you is listen to the information and come to the right conclusion. And stop allowing people to hold your emotions hostage. I've realized something, man, after becoming a content creator and watching others. There are so many of these content creators. They make a living off the negativity of the Cowboys. Make a living off of it. They always want to come tell you how bad the Cowboys are, how bad a move was, how bad this is, how bad Jerry is, how bad Steven is, how bad the Cowboys are. Meanwhile, but I'm a Cowboy fan. How are you a Cowboy fan? Fan of what? I was here during the 90s. I was here during the 80s. I was here during the 70s. I saw these teams play. Some of these people didn't even see these teams play. And maybe that's the reason why they don't see this team the way I do. I'm not a Micah Parsons fan. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I love Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is a great player. I want to see Micah Parsons go on to be successful. What kind of man would I be to not want to see another young man be successful? I want this man to get the money that he deserves. He's owed for his play and the contract that he signs. Right now, what the Cowboys owe Micah Parsons is a fifth-year option. The reality is they don't yet owe him an extension that he has not signed. They may want to pay him an extension for what they think he's going to do. But for right now, the contract he signed, whether we think he outplayed it or not, that's the contract he's playing on. That's the contract that he's owed. I'd love to see him get paid. I'd love to see people be successful. It's inspirational. But I'm not taking Micah Parsons over the team. I'm not doing it. And I'm telling you today, when this team get back out on the practice field, you watch what I tell you. I'm laughing at, Brian Schottenheimer's culture is under attack. No, it isn't. The culture isn't under attack. This is what you built the culture for. You built the culture to be able to withstand this stuff. You don't think that Brian Schottenheimer is telling his team? That's the business. Don't get caught up in it. Don't let the business interfere with the football. Do y'all think that CeeDee Lamb is going to go out on the field today and every pass thrown to him, he going to bat it down and say, this is for Micah Parsons? You think George Pickens going to bat every ball down? You think the team going to refuse to come out? Stop it. Micah Parsons isn't the team. And if I would have been Micah Parsons, I would have told my agent, man, I'm not doing this dumb stuff. I'm not telling my team, I'm not telling the world I want to be traded from the Dallas Cowboys. I no longer want to be a Dallas Cowboy. I'm sorry. If I'm your teammate, I'm looking at you side-eye from this point forward. Let me tell you something about a leader. A leader has to be emotionally intelligent. I'm laughing. Micah Parsons' brother, no disrespect to him, but he's over here on X talking about, Micah Parsons is playing the game and I love it. What? Bro, if you got to play the game to get paid, stop it. Michael don't have to play the game to get paid by Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is going to pay Micah Parsons. What are we talking about? This stupid stuff. Man, you're a grown man. What you playing games for? While this may be a negotiating tactic, it's childish. It's childish. And anybody who's advocating for it, I don't care if you like me. You didn't build me, you can't kill me. You didn't make me, you can't break me. I don't care if nobody likes me for this. I'm standing on business on this one. No, this is not how you operate. You don't go to the extreme measure of saying you don't want to be a Dallas Cowboy anymore. You want to be traded? That's wicked work. That's wicked work. That is absolute wicked work. I'm sorry. That's wicked work. Look at this. David has a history of dragging out negotiations. Y'all don't think the Joneses know this man? Y'all don't think that the Joneses know David Mulugheta? Don't get it confused when Jerry say he don't know David Mulugheta. He knows of David Mulugheta. You don't think they know? Do y'all not realize there was an article that was released when Deshaun Watson got that contract that the NFL owners were furious at the Browns owner for giving Deshaun Watson a fully guaranteed deal, which it blew up in their face. It blew up and continues to blow up. This man went out and blew his Achilles again. And now he will not be playing for the Cleveland Browns probably until Cleveland Browns are eventually going to just cut their losses because I think this may be the last year of the deal. Says this man has a history of being stubborn with front offices when it comes to contracts with star players. David has been doing this for years. He was Earl Thomas's agent when talks fell apart in Seattle, and Earl eventually got traded to Baltimore. Just telling us. I don't think this is where this is going to go. But I told y'all yesterday. You mess around and let a team send the Cowboys the right offer sheet. All you Micah Parsons fans who are Micah Parsons fans rather than Cowboys fans, you're going to be crying a river. And I won't be crying. If a team sends the Cowboys an offer sheet, talking about three first-round draft picks over the next 3 years, talking about 2 or 3 number 2s, 2 or 3 number 3s, some 4s, some 5s, or whatever the case may be, if they're going to give the Cowboys the Herschel Walker trade and give the Dallas Cowboys 9 or 10 players for Micah Parsons, Sure, I told you before, I love Micah Parsons, but I'll see you later. You don't replace Micah Parsons with one player, but you can replace Micah Parsons with players. Somebody mess around. I'm telling you. See, Micah Parsons don't send that letter unless he knows that Jerry ain't going to do nothing. You don't send that letter to a real G. Nah, you don't send that letter to a real G. You send that letter to a real G, you might as well start packing your bags, because the moment the offer comes in that's good enough, your butt is gone. This is David Mulugheta. David Mulugheta orchestrated this. David Mulugheta is orchestrating this. And don't y'all think for a second that David Mulugheta is really in a rush to even get a contract done, because there's one more leaf that needs to fall. Trey Hendrickson. That Trey Hendrickson leaf has not failed. I will not be surprised. This is just another tactic to make sure. Keep driving that price up. Keep driving it up. It says players that are mid-tier or below wind up taking contracts rather easily with not much drama. Makes sense, doesn't it? But with high-end players, things get testy, and they do not go over well unless David and his client get the max or even beyond that in terms of numbers. Didn't I just say it? How else is he going to make history with $1 billion in terms of contracts in a single year? I know Micah is saying that he wasn't asking for top dollar, but I don't buy it considering who his agent is. Did I not say it? You don't hire David Mulugheta talking about, I don't have to be the highest paid in the league. Why hire a max money agent like David if he wants anything other than the most money for his upcoming deal? I genuinely feel Micah's either playing the fans with this sob story act on Twitter, or he's being manipulated by his agent, or possibly even both. Love it, like it, or hate it. That's the facts. That's the facts. With a bit of the Cowboys front office's unusual shenanigans thrown into the mix. Yep. It's a Molotov cocktail. It is a Molotov cocktail because of the way the Cowboys operate. This is playing into the hands of David Mulugheta. This person writes, this is not the case to me of the front office just being clueless and not getting the deal done soon enough. Have I not been saying this? I told y'all this ain't that. We got to stop saying, ooh, every year, even Dak and CD. I'm sorry, I'm not agreeing with them. This is not Dak Prescott. This is not CD Lamb. This is a whole different monster. David doesn't take anything less than the max. And he's got a damaged rep currently after getting fired by T. Higgins. He's running for the max or beyond, and he will not take anything less. Wait a minute. Let's read between the lines. Could David Mulugheta be using Micah Parsons as his bounce back? Could Micah Parsons be his bounce back? Hold on. I know T. Higgins fired me. Okay. But watch what I'm about to do with Micah Parsons. When I get Micah Parsons this deal, I'm going to be right back where I want to be. He's gunning for the max or beyond. He wants to ensure his client and himself get the mega deal and nothing less than that. He wants a history-setting deal, not just market value. He wants Michael to be the highest paid DN in league history with the most guaranteed money in the league. And I think Michael wants that too. I mean, I can't blame him in all honesty. Who's going to pass up more money? That's why I said, don't be talking like you don't want it. Don't be talking like you don't want it. And then we'll sit up and make excuses. Well, everything went out the window when Max Crosby got signed, when Myles Garrett got signed, when Watt got signed. No, Micah Parsons never said it depended upon who got signed on what I was going to be asking for. He said it depended upon how aggressive the Cowboys are going to be. And I believe the Cowboys are being aggressive. They're trying to get their own players signed, and we know already that this dude, all roads are pointing to George Pickens. All roads are pointing to George Pickens. We have got to get George Pickens signed, because if we don't, it's going to set us back. Says, but I think the Cowboys front office is leery of handing out that kind of cash after seeing what happened with Diggs and Steele getting hurt and wasting a good portion of their contracts. Did Jerry not say this in a sense? And after being taken to the cleaners by Dak and CD during last year's offseason, regardless of their hesitation, I think they make a deal and it's done at the latest before the start of week 1. If anything else happens, I would not be surprised, though, given David's reputation and history of multiple players not getting extensions or getting traded. You would think I wrote this article. This is where I am. Buckle up, folks. Yep. I said it before I read it. Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. It's going to be a bumpy ride regardless. Okay. I tell you this. I don't care how bumpy this ride getting. I'm riding with the Cowboys. Whatever decision Jerry and Steven make, I'm riding with it. Don't mean I agree. I'm riding with it. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm not a Micah Parsons fan. I'm riding with it. I've been seeing people over on X. This new generation is different. Yeah, Micah Parsons getting traded. I'm changing teams. Bye. See you. See, this is why I don't watch basketball. I never was a basketball fan. I was a Michael Jordan fan. That's why I don't watch basketball. I like the Dallas Mavericks, but I'm not a big basketball fan. I want to see the Dallas Mavericks because they're the local team. I want to see them win, but that's why I don't talk about the Dallas Mavericks. I'm not a basketball fan. I used to watch basketball because I was a Michael Jordan fan. I don't watch the Bulls no more. So if you're a Micah Parsons fan, well, I believe the Dallas Cowboys are going to be just fine without you. Any content creators, any media members. If Micah Parsons was to get traded, good luck. We'll see how that goes. Because I'm telling you, Micah Parsons needs the Dallas Cowboys as much as the Dallas Cowboys need Micah Parsons. And if Micah Parsons leaves the Dallas Cowboys, I'm rolling with the Dallas Cowboys. This person says, I hate this has to be this way every single time. Dallas has a legit talent up for a new deal, but we can't act like these agents aren't holding things up themselves. Did I not say it? See, everybody quickly runs to Jerry Jones is 100% wrong. This one right here is different. Yeah, Jerry's wrong in this one, but he's not 100% wrong. He's not 100% wrong, and I'm rolling with the Cowboys. It says, especially how Dak and Lamb contracts went down last year and with the history of agents like David, the $1 billion man Mulugeta. It's crazy to me when I look at his client list on these pictures. Not very impressive to me. Micah Parsons is the most impressive player that he has in my estimation. And I think that's why so much is riding on this Micah Parsons deal. See, y'all got to read between the lines, sisters and brothers. This man right here. I'm not mad at him at the same time. I love America. Hey, brother, I love capitalism. You make all the money that you can. But that don't mean I have to let you make all the money that you can off me. That's the beauty of capitalism. This man right here, he's the $1 billion man. And this is a part of what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. And whether anybody like it or not, that's the cold hard facts. Then let me come to your comments. That's the cold hard facts right there. Those are the facts. Like them, love them, or hate them. Those are the facts. Corey Agger, them boys for life. Appreciate that super chat. David J said, Coach Shotty's live, G. We going there in just a moment. I appreciate you, David J. David J, I got to get you that wrench, man. I apologize for not getting it to you. Again, Alfredo Morales, Yes, sir. These people think they own the Cowboys. They don't own the Cowboys. They don't own. I'll be thanking them. Samuel Jackson said, I agree. Samuel Johnson said, I agree with everything you're saying, which I haven't in the past. You cooking, bro. I agree with everything you're saying. Let him go. Trade him. I'm tired of Micah Parsons. Man, I'm telling you, I'm rolling with the Cowboys. I don't care what anybody says, Samuel. I'm rolling. Freddie, what up? He said they got the same rep as lawyers. I'll just have an uncle do the job. Heck with the agents. Shoot. Telling us. Hallelujah, what up? Hallelujah said, bro, I'm going to take a Forbes every time you say David Mulugeta. Hey, don't do it. You're going to pass out. Yes, sir. Newhouse, what up? Micah not going nowhere. This is a contract strategy. Newhouse regulator. It's a terrible strategy. It's a terrible strategy. To say you want to be traded, you no longer want to be a Dallas Cowboy, I'm sorry. I said it yesterday. When people go low, don't go to hell. Don't go to hell. No, don't go to hell. Don't get in a battle of who can go the lowest. Not doing that. It's stupid. Stupid stuff. Not doing that. People are entitled to their opinion. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna give you the facts. I'm just gonna give you the facts. You gotta go for whatever you know. Jamal said I blocked some guys on stream yesterday. It was a panel. I guess they were mad at me saying Diggs shouldn't have been at that 2-man press conference. Facts. Straight up facts. Ice Cold said 80s football was football with real men made of steel and rhinos. I'm telling us. Man, I've been with the Cowboys. I'm not leaving the Cowboys because of Micah Parsons. I'm not. King of Kings said, I like Micah, but I feel he needs to keep working. He's not there yet. I agree. Keep working. Keep working. That's all you need to do. Keep working. And I'm telling you, his agent, I'm torn because his agent, okay, you want an agent that tries to get the most for you. But in this guy's case, man, this guy seems like he's trying to get the most money for himself too. Jamal Burton, angry. I'm a Cowboys fan since the 70s. Me too. Me too. I've been rocking with the Cowboys. I ain't leaving. I am not leaving the Cowboys. Not for this. Connie said exactly, G. Exactly right, G. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Freddie said, yeah, G, it's dark and wicked. Today's ways, it's a dark world. I agree. Big Rombowski, Christian Wilkin makes out with Mulugeta's forehead. It's a closet of... Man, I'm telling you, it's strange to me after he gets these players, these contracts, how they fall off. They fall off. Cowboy hater heard it. He said, I've been screaming, Michael needed to be gone for 2 years, and it comes out. They tried to trade him 2 years ago. Wildcat Jerry said, this is BS coming a mile away. Yep. All right, we're going to go over to, let's see if we can catch up on, let's rock for a little bit longer. Let's see if we can catch up and see if Brian Schottenheimer, because y'all already know, the press is about to wear Brian Schottenheimer out with these Micah Parsons questions. You watch what I tell you. Katharina Kiss, my sister, she said he wants to be traded to the Commanders. Remember when Parsons also stated that he talked to Quinn on a daily basis? G, do you think Quinn has a little to do with this? I'll tell you this. I don't know if he does, but I'll tell you this, Katharina Kiss. If I'm the Cowboys, of course, I'm not trading him to the NFC East. But I'll tell you this. If there is a person that is willing to mortgage the entire future of a team for a player, it's Dan Quinn. It's Dan Quinn. This dude, for what he gave for Marshawn Lattimore, it's ridiculous. What do you think he'll give for Micah Parsons? This man will convince the Commanders' ownership to mortgage probably four drafts. 4 drafts. Understand? If it was to Washington, which I don't think they would do, shoot, if you're talking about somebody that'll mortgage an entire future, it's him. Robert M31 said Michael sit there like he was trying to find out why his woman won't return his car. Man, straight up. Man, this man sit that letter like he was trying to get a reaction, boy. But I'm telling you, he's created a very volatile situation, though. Because when you say stuff like this, you better mean it. The Bible tells us to let our yeas be yeas and our nays be nays. My mama told me, don't you dare say something. Hey, whatever you say, you mean it. Don't you ever let come out of your mouth the measures that you're not willing to take. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You need the right people around you. Because sometimes you say, I'm saying something and it ain't going to mean nothing because I know this person ain't going to do this or do that. Man, you mess around and you say the wrong thing. You create a situation that you never anticipated because you actually can't control a situation. The only thing you can control is yourself in the situation. You create other situations when you do dumb things in a situation. And by saying that he don't want to be a Cowboy, I've heard the Bears have already said they're interested in Micah Parsons. It's only a matter of time. You keep on playing. You keep on playing. And somebody will send a Herschel Walker offer sheet. And Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones will be in that office moving furniture. Will McClay and all of them will be up in there moving furniture telling Jerry Jones, we don't care what you say. This is too good to pass up. Man, I'm sorry. I just would never say nothing like that. There's so many things you could have said in that letter. But I'm not saying I don't want to be a Cowboy. That's crazy. Newhouse fam, you're exactly right. He pouting. And David Mulugeta. I don't know if I don't know. For me, it's a shrewd operator. Micah is saying he's being taken advantage of or trying to be taken advantage of by Jerry Jones. Micah Parsons, can I help you with something? Your agent is manipulating you too. You really think your agent has your best interest at mind only? If you believe that, I have a team in London I want to sell you. David Mulugeta is playing on and preying on the fact that Micah Parsons wants to be signed. And he's got this man in a mode of desperation when he actually doesn't have to be. Everybody knows that Jerry's going to pay Micah Parsons. Everybody knows it. Heck, even David Mulugeta knows it. But creating these situations, what you do is you get the court of public opinion behind you, which don't mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. But you get that court of public opinion around you. And then the only thing that happens is if people give in, it just drives stuff even more. Connie said, I'm the same way. If you're not on my team, then move out the way. That's where I am too. I'm laughing at people. They are more for a player than they are for the team. One player ain't the team. I'm sorry. One player is not the team. Connie said the G is the best. I appreciate you, Connie. Lost in translation, send him to the Colts. I tell you this, lost in translation, if I was to send him to a team, I'm not sending him to any team that I know that's going to have more than 5 wins over the next 2 to 3 seasons. Yeah, I'm doing my research. I'm going to send him to the worst team I can find. That's why I'm sending him if I was sending him somewhere. Dustin Roberts said, right, Jig. Yes, sir. I'm telling us. Again, I love Micah Parsons. This man can be a part of this championship. And he can play and will play a big role in this championship because he's got to understand, Jerry Jones has done you a favor, young man. You complained after the New Orleans Saints game last year. I can't be the only one making plays. Jerry Jones said, Micah Parsons, I got you. I'm going to give you Donovan Ezeraku. I'm going to re-sign Oso Digizua. I'm going to bring in Dante Fowler. We got Sam Williams healthy in this thing. We're going to bring in Peyton Thomas. We're going to bring in Solomon Thomas. We're going to bring in Kyrie Elam. We're going to do everything we can do, Michael. We're going to get Savon Revel Jr. We're going to bring in people, Micah Parsons. They will be playmakers on defense for you to where now you're going to be able to be even better and more efficient than you've been the last 4 seasons. I got you, Micah Parsons, and I'm going to pay you. Man, put some respect on this man's name. Stop acting like Jerry Jones hating Micah Parsons. Jerry Jones has done everything he could do to help this man be successful. And he gonna pay him. It's crazy work to me. It's crazy work to me how people still talking. Jerry Jones. You can tell me Jerry Jones has messed up everything previous to this year. But what Jerry Jones has done this year, flawless. Flawless with the exception of this Micah Parsons stuff. Flawless. Jerry Jones has brought in so much depth, Tyler Guyton went down. Nate Thomas steps in. And we're looking at Nate Thomas with a different look like, wait a minute, hold on a second. This Cowboys team is on its way finally. It's on its way. Not listening to people talking about Jerry and what he hasn't done. No, this man is doing his thing. Jerry just done his thing this year. I don't care what anyone says. Carlos Phillips, appreciate you. He said, thank you for putting who numero uno problem is in the Micah Parsons situation. I've been screaming this since I read about him and T. Now he's doing it with Micah. Dallas before a player. Straight up. Straight up. People better recognize who David Mulugeta is. He's the $1 billion man. Mike McCain said all the players that I know so far are behind Micah Parsons. They've all changed their profile pics. Now, Mike McCain, let's look at this in a different way. They're saying they want him on the team. That's what they're saying. Yeah, Jerry paying. That's what they're saying. But they're not going against Jerry Jones. These same players love Jerry Jones. They do. LaQueen, my sister, she said the Cowboy that cried wolf. These players love Jerry Jones. They understand this is a part of the game. And David Mulugeta has got some things to do with this. All right, guys, let's move over here and see what let's see if the media is bombarding Brian Schottenheimer today. Because I'm telling you right now, after what happened yesterday, you want to talk about an assault on the culture. Stop blaming Jerry for that. Micah and his agent are well calculated. And that's why they dropped that letter yesterday, to bring all the attention to Micah Parsons. Who does that to their team? Who does that to their team? In the words of Deion Sanders, this type of stuff is bull junk. We need to be very careful saying that Micah talking about who's manipulating him. He might ought to look at the person who he's all of a sudden calling family. He's saying that Jerry don't want to pay him, which I don't even believe that to be the case. But also understand this part, Micah needs to understand David Mulugeta trying to get paid too. All right, guys, let's run over here to Brian Schottenheimer real quick. Let's see what's going on and see if the media is going to bombard Brian Schottenheimer with questions about Micah Parsons.
Who broke it?
Well, we had to point it down for Pickens yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's loud too. Shit, Mike. You guys, can we turn me down a little bit? What's up, everybody? Yeah.
Whoa. This is why you love Brian Schottenheimer. This is why you love Brian Schottenheimer. I'm laughing to the culture is under assault. This culture is not under assault. This man, Brian Schottenheimer, is emotionally intelligent. Some folk need to look that term up. Brian Schottenheimer is emotionally intelligent. Brian Schottenheimer understands this is a part of the game. I don't like it, but I understand what's going on. And the one thing he's not going to do is go against Jerry and Stephen Jones, because he understands these men have given me the opportunity of a lifetime. If Brian Schottenheimer becomes the coach of any other team in this league, nobody cares. It'd have been 15 minutes of news. Hey, Brian Schottenheimer got hired by so-and-so and so-and-so. Okay, he's a brand new coach. Okay, we don't know anything about him. We don't know what he's going to do. Blah, blah, blah. On to the next story. It's probably a Cowboy story. This man is emotionally intelligent. Jerry and Stephen Jones have given him the opportunity of a lifetime to be the head coach of the Dallas America team Cowboys. This man ain't going against his own ownership. And he's going to tell his team, you're not going against the ownership. Stay out of this man's business. If you want to be for him, be for him. But don't you get in this man's business messing up your own business, as Sam Williams. You got contracts coming up too. And some of y'all ain't in the same situation as Micah Parsons to where you can act a fool and still get paid. Some of y'all act a fool, you straight up out of here real quick. I'm telling you, this man is emotionally intelligent. Just the way he's coming into this press conference tells me this man has emotionally prepared himself for all the bull junk that happened yesterday, and he's prepared himself to answer questions in an emotionally intelligent manner.
We got Family Beach Day today, so let's go. Absolutely. How you doing?
He know what coming.
Talked to Micah Parsons about
See? He know what coming.
his trade request.
I've talked to Micah. I've talked to all of our guys, and great conversations. Not going to share with you guys what he and I talked about, but again, I know you guys are going to ask it. I get that. I'm not going to continue to talk about Micah's contract situation. A lot of great things going on. I get it. Seriously, you guys have a tough job to do, and you're going to get bored with this press conference if we keep asking it. But again, had great conversation with him. You know, you guys know me. I'm transparent. I talk to all of our guys. Always have, always will, and good conversations.
Boom! End the conversation. Did I not tell you this man is different? This man is emotionally intelligent. He is well aware of this Dallas media. And I'm telling you, I'm not hating on these guys. I know they have a job to do. But under the guise of keeping it real, it seems like to me that this media is like the national media. And they cling to negative stories about the Cowboys. They cling to them. And they don't even go out and do the work like I did. The work like AOC did. They don't go out and do the work and then go out there and report stories like sports journalists used to do. Sports journalists in the 90s were different. These people would go and they would dig. They would get the stories. They would get the articles. They would get the people. James Slater kind of did some of this kind of work. That's journalist work. When you go and start talking to people so that you can make sure that you're just not out here regurgitating junk. No, you're out here like, hey, let me tell you what I found out. Let me give you some things, some facts. Let me give you some things. Let me give you both sides of the story so you can come to the right conclusion. Did I not tell you? This man talked to Micah Parsons, and I guarantee you he told him. That's stupid, bro. Probably didn't tell him in those words. Micah, why are you saying stuff like that? Don't say stuff like that. This is a family. Don't say stuff that alienates your team. Jerry and Steven, whether any of us like it or not, they're a part of the team. But they're not the only part of the team. That's the part he's got to get. Bro, you don't say you don't want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. If you want to write a letter and say you're frustrated after you said that patience is a virtue, I guess you threw that out the window. But if you want to write a letter of whatever kind, there are certain things that don't need to be in that letter, bro. And it don't need to be in there you want to make the Cowboys America's team again. We're already America's team with or without you, Micah Parsons. And you don't need to write in that letter, I don't want to be a Cowboy no more. What? Bro, you are nothing but a great player without the Cowboys. That's all you are. You get traded from the Cowboys, I promise you. We bring in somebody to take your place, and the first 2 sacks they get, we'll be saying, Michael who? If we 4-2 by game 6, we won't even be thinking about you no more. We get to the playoffs and win a playoff game, you won't even be a memory no more for us that season. We'll be saying the same thing that some people came back after they put their foot in their mouth, talking so bad about this dude, Nico, from the Dallas Mavericks for trading Luka Doncic, came back later on talking about maybe Nico was on to something. Got to learn to be emotionally intelligent. I told y'all, it's stupid. This man's culture is not under attack. He's built this culture. This culture is reinforced. He built it to handle this stuff. This man's already called his players. I guarantee you he told them something along these lines. Stay out of this stuff. Stay out of this stuff. Stay out of this media nonsense. Stay out of it. You can be there for Micah Parsons. But don't you do anything against this team. Don't do it. And I love how smart he is. This press conference is going to be for nothing if y'all keep asking about Micah Parsons. I'm not giving you any insight on anything I said, anything I talked about. But it's obvious what this man said. If you're me, it's obvious for me what he said. This man ain't going against Jerry Jones. I got news for y'all. This man understands who the Dallas Cowboys are. He's not going against the Cowboys. He's not going against Jerry. He's not going against Steven. And he's definitely not going for some doggone agent. I'm telling y'all he's not doing it. Genius move by this man right out the gate.
I think it will be a distraction in any sort of way because of, obviously, we're reporting about it and he's a high-profile player.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think, look, our guys are focused on what we're trying to build. They're focused on what we're trying to build on the field and the meeting rooms. As we get closer to a game week, it's kind of exciting, and get the Rams coming in here next week. So there's plenty of things for us to focus on. We're almost through the install. So, I don't think so. Look, it's going to be talked about. We've talked about it anytime you're sitting in this chair with this organization. There's going to be things that are hot topics amongst the masses. But our guys have a very singular focus, and that's getting better and getting ready to have a hell of a practice today.
Did I not tell you? I'm laughing at people. You think people are going to come out here today and not catch the ball, not run the ball, not block, not hit, not do their bleeping job, understanding we're professionals? This is a part of the game. We didn't want to be a part of that game because we got a game to play. This team would be falling apart if Mike McCarthy was the coach right now. But because of what this dude has built, this man has built this team to be almost bulletproof. I'm sweating this Micah Parsons nonsense. This is the business. I would straight up tell my team, this is the business. You need to be prepared for anything. Any player on this team could not be in the locker room tomorrow because of the business. We ain't even talking about the injuries, the business. Any player in this locker room could not be here. and we must go on. We must continue on. We can't stop because of one player. Because the team, Shannon Sharp said, you don't take players to the Super Bowl. You take teams to the Super Bowl. That's what you do. My uncle used to always say, or my cousin used to always tell me, one monkey don't stop no show. And I'm not calling anybody a monkey, but you got to understand what that means. One person don't stop no show. This man is smart. Guys, we got a job to do. We're grown men. We're professionals. We're not going to be sitting up here crying because Micah Parsons isn't signed yet. You got to be worried about your own doggone business.
Clarence Hill, DLLS Cowboy, just from an administrative standpoint, do you expect him to be at practice?
I don't want to talk about the Micah Parsons questions, and they're going to continue to bombard him. I told you. They're going to continue to bombard him.
As he was the past few weeks. I mean, is there any expectation on how he's going to move out here going forward?
I would hope so. I would expect to see him out there today, and again, we'll see about that. But like I said, the conversation and stuff that he and I have had, we talk about a lot of different things, and all very positive.
Understand this, people. Micah Parsons is giving up money if he doesn't show up. I'm not saying that he has another incentive because he's saying that he's only there for the players. Well, the letter he wrote the other day, it don't sound like he's there just for the players. And he is going to miss $50,000, if I'm not mistaken, $50,000 a day if he leave camp today. So you do the math. How many days are left in camp? Multiply that times 50,000.
As you were thinking about becoming a head coach, I don't know if the distractions were part of that whole, how do I manage those type of things? I guess the honeymoon's over, so to speak. You've got all this other stuff. Did you envision handling off the field stuff, and how do you go forward trying to manage expectations and limit distractions and focus on program?
Yeah, I think, Clarence, when you look at the situation being around the game so long, I mean, I've always had to deal with the issues. I haven't had to always step to a mic every day and talk about them and address it. But like I said, I've been very open about, I think over the past 5 or 6 years, the transparency and the authenticity that I carry myself with is never going to change. And so when you're a coordinator, there's different distractions and there's things that you can't control. And when you're the head coach, you can control those things. And that's not just how you practice and the practice schedules and the way you travel and things like that. But distractions are part of the game. And we limit them. We address the ones we feel like we have to. And but I'm the same person every day. And I'm not surprised by things that you have to deal with. I wake up every morning and know there's going to be things that I wasn't anticipating happening. And I relish those things.
Your teammates have changed things on social media to show us support for Micah. Do you support that? Is that part of the brotherhood? Does that get into their head about what's going on with Micah and how that affects them on the field?
No, I think it's good that our guys are loving and supporting one another. I mean, that's part of being a team. But again, I don't get caught up in all that stuff. I mean, again, we got 91 guys here, and again, I get fueled off of the energy and stuff that I feel in the meetings and on the practice field. That's what fuels me.
Now, did you catch what he said? He just said in a very politically correct way, this is about the team, bro. I'm not getting caught up in all this old social media stuff. I'm not getting caught up in people trying to say, I'm on team. I hate when I see people saying stuff like, I'm on team so-and-so. How about you just be about the truth? How about that part? How about you be objective rather than subjective? How about you just be about the truth? And then when people start saying, I'm on team so-and-so, that's their way of creating their own, to way they divide. The fan base then gets divided, and then people start going against each other. Stupid. Brian Schottenheimer is saying, I told y'all, this man is smart. He's not going against Jerry and Stephen Jones. He's not going to do it. This man is about the team. He's not about Micah Parsons. This man knows full well. Micah Parsons, that's a possibility. He might not be a part of the team. Straight up. There's a possibility. He could not be a part of the team anymore. It is what it is. So you can't get caught up in dumb stuff. You're the coach of the team. You're not the coach of Micah Parsons. You're the coach of every player on the team. Of course, you know as a head coach, you're going to have to deal with this stuff, especially being the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. You know you're going to deal with this stuff.
Ryan Powell for the ESPN. Do you feel caught in the middle in this situation between Micah and management?
No, because I'm in communication with everybody. I mean, I'm talking to the players all the time. I'm talking to ownership all the time. Steven and Jerry and I talk all the time. Will McClay. Again, the business side is the business side. And, we're not the only team in the league that's going through this. It's what happens in big business and with elite players. And but no, I think I'm certainly someone that has the ability to have, conversations and take in a lot of information. And I'm able to look at things from all sides and then communicate directly with the people that it affects.
I told y'all this man is emotionally intelligent. See, there are some of these Cowboy fans, they don't like people like me. They don't like people like me, AOC. They don't like people like Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer just said exactly what I've been doing. You look at it from both sides. How many times have I said Jerry is guilty? People don't hear that part. Why are you not detailing Jerry's part? There's not much detail to Jerry's part. It's not much detail to it. Jerry had a conversation with Micah Parsons. He thought they came to a gentleman's agreement on a contract. And then when that agreement was not seen all the way through, Jerry got in his feelings. And now Jerry ain't talking to David Mulugeta. Okay? There's nothing really to talk about. But when Micah Parsons and his agent, who so well calculated, puts out a letter that's indicting him, then we have to read that letter and go through it so we can see what's being said and then say, okay, now I see what's going on. This is what Jane Slater did. She then went and did her due diligence. She went and talked to people. I came to the conclusions that Jane Slater came to without talking to anybody. Why? Because the analyzation of the letter told me everything I needed to know. The only thing that Jane Slater did was verify everything that I came to the conclusion of just by simply reading the letter. Brian Schottenheimer is telling us, I'm not getting caught up in this dumb stuff. I'm the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. This ain't hard work for me. This is easy work. I look at this on both sides, and I'm rolling with the team. What we want them to do? Let me tell you what some of the Dallas people would love. They would love for Brian Schottenheimer to sit here and denigrate Jerry and Steven. They would love it. Brian speaks out. Brian tells the truth. Brian speaks out against Jerry and Steven. Why do you want that type of behavior? Why would you want this kind of energy? Brian knows more about this situation than we do. And that's why this man, when he sits at this table, he knows exactly what is happening. And that's why he's saying, I ain't tripping. Part of the business.
Then what have been your impressions of the pass rushers not named Micah so far in camp?
Really, some guys have jumped out. Sam Williams having a hell of a camp. Nobody's surprised by that. just because of the we know the type of athlete he is, the speed, the power. Donovan Ezaraku has shown up for sure. We've talked about him a little bit. Just his first step quickness is really incredible. The ability to run games and the suddenness of the games. Dante Fowler's having a great camp. Marshawn's doing some good things. So really, most of those guys have showed up. They're giving our tackles, great.
Wait a minute. Y'all ready for this? Let me rewind something for you. Let me rewind something for you.
What have been your impressions of the pass rushers not named Micah so far in camp?
Really, some guys have jumped out. Sam Williams having a hell of a camp. Nobody's surprised by that, just because of the we know the type of athlete he is, the speed, the power. Donovan Ezaraku has shown up for sure. We've talked about him a little bit. Just his first step quickness is really incredible. The ability to run games and the suddenness of the games. Dante Fowler's having a great camp. Marshawn's doing some good things. So really, most of those guys have showed up. They're giving our tackles, great work. And from the inside, Osa's always going to do his thing. Solomon's been great. Mozzie's been pushing the pocket. Again, I love the competition. You guys saw a little bit yesterday or 2 days ago, I guess. We did the one-on-ones. That was fun film to watch. Watch the not just the receivers, DBs, and tight ends and safeties and backs, linebackers, but I always default to watching the big guys and watch them go, bat a little bit, because when you have pads on, that's the stuff that gets you excited. But I will think that, again, we can create problems with people because of the way we play initially with the attack front, but also with the depth that we have on the defensive line.
Y'all better listen to this man. I've already told y'all this. They asked him the question about anybody other than Micah. If y'all don't think that Jerry has prepared himself, that if this was really to go, if they really wanted to take this as far as they could take it, this ain't last year. The depth the Cowboys built at the edge position and the three tech position is insane. If y'all don't think the Cowboys can play without Micah Parsons, you're sadly mistaken. Nealon, Donovan Ezaraku, Dante Fowler, Sam Williams on a I got something to prove year. Peyton Turner, Solomon Thomas, Oso Digizua. If you don't think the Cowboys could weather the storm, I don't think they're going to do it. But if you don't think the Cowboys couldn't weather the storm on this situation, you're sadly mistaken. That same Jerry Jones that y'all hate, the people are hating on, this man has done a bang-up job of building depth. A bang-up job. The Cowboys are ready. I'm telling you, they're ready. Katharina Kiss, appreciate that super chat. Katharina Kiss. She said, pay Parsons or trade him. She said, pay Parsons or trade him. Don't make any difference to me. Any player can be replaced. Katharina Kiss. You know the deal? Because that's the nature of the game. We all have to accept that's the nature of the game, Katharina Kiss. That's the game. That's the business. A player could be here today and gone tomorrow. That's the business. I have to deal with that part of the business. The same way we had to deal with the business. We had no clue who Dak Prescott was. In 2016, we thought that Tony Romo was about to have the best season of his career. The Cowboys drafted Ezekiel Elliott, finally had the run game behind Tony Romo. Well, they had DeMarco Murray and they let him go, but they had replaced, we felt like DeMarco Murray with an even more explosive running back if you could be more explosive than DeMarco Murray was for about 2 seasons. We thought that, man, Tony Romo is on his way. Only for Tony Romo to go down. Dak Prescott took his spot. The rest is history. Tony Romo no longer with the team. Here we are 10 years later, and Dak Prescott's still the quarterback. It's the nature of the game. We've been here. We've seen DeMarcus Ware not be with the Cowboys no more. It's the nature of the game. No player is the team. There are players that are important to the team, but no player is the team. And this is why I applaud this man, what he's doing. This man is saying, y'all need to understand something. We have a team. I have a team to look after. I can't give all my attention to Micah Parsons. I can't be Micah Parsons' contract negotiator even. I can't even be out here doing some of this stuff saying, pay Micah. I love what this man is doing. Nah, bro. Brian. Don't get on the side of the fan base. No. You're the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. It is your job to coach the Dallas Cowboys. It is your job to represent the Dallas Cowboys. And the last thing anybody wants to do, you never want to create a situation to where a player says something like Micah Parsons said, I wanted to make this America's team again. Stop it. It's America's team, bro, whether we win a championship or not. Don't make yourself more valuable than the team. And don't do things to take attention away from the team. And I'm sure this is the conversation that Brian had today. Don't y'all dare walk up in here with this stuff. I don't want to hear this social media stuff. I don't want to hear it. Y'all are the Dallas Cowboys. Act like it. Get your butt on this field today, and you come out here and you practice hard. That's what I would have told him. Y'all are the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all are. And last time I checked, Micah Parsons was under contract. Last time I checked, reality cowboy, Micah needs to be traded for 2 number ones and DeForest Buckner. Coyote said we have to see what happens. I like Parsons, but he showed that he's not a real leader. Damage is done. Facts, Coyote. I'm looking at him side-eyed from this point forward from a player. Yeah, man, we want you to be on the team, but the reality is, bro, you're not a leader. Leaders don't do that stuff. No, leaders weather the storm. That's what leaders do. Leaders weather the storm. Big Rombowski said if you had to do a trade right now, then I saw Hendrickson for Parsons straight up. Trey is bigger, a true edge rusher that's just beginning to dominate at that position. Rombowski, I tell you this, Cincinnati got to come out more than Trey Hendrickson. They got to come out more than Trey Hendrickson. They're going to have to give us some more than that. Let's see here. Junior, appreciate that super chat. Junior. He said after watching the AOC's video, he said, I understand Mulugeta is an ideologue. That's a problem. Yeah. Yeah. For real he is. And that's why when I started doing my research on it, and shout out to AOC, when I started doing my research on it, that Reddit article summed it all up. Summed it all up. This dude, David Mulugeta, this might be, he might be using, and Micah Parsons needs to understand, everybody gets used. You just gotta, you gotta be careful and try to control how people use you. You gotta control how people use you. David Mulugeta may be using this man as a bounce back. David Mulugeta may be using this man as a bounce back. Hey, T. Higgins fired me. I'm gonna bounce back with this Micah contract though. I'm gonna break the bank. I got news for David Mulugeta. Jerry was already going to break the bank and is going to break the bank with Micah Parsons because he wanted to. I think because he wanted to. The reality cowboy making so much sense. Who goes against the man that cuts the check? No one. That's who. Reality Cowboy. These people run around talking about, yeah, Michael should be doing this. I want to see them do the same thing to their boss. I bet you they're not doing the same thing to their boss. I bet you if they're working for somebody, I bet you they're not taking their own advice. I bet you they're not going into their boss talking about, yeah, I don't like the conditions around here. I'm done with this job. I want to, okay, hit the door. See, you wouldn't want to be. Hit the door. Reality Cowboy said Michael's delusional, thinking he's bigger than the star. No one is. I agree with your reality. He said, I don't like this for Shotty. He don't need this bull junk in a rebuild. I tell you this, he seems to be built for it, though. Whoa, Brandon. Brandon Cup said, agents are technically slave traders. Think about it. DC for real. Woo! Say it. Say it. That's why I'm saying Michael needs to really reevaluate. Bro, you talking about the Cowboys trying to take advantage of you. What is David Mulugeta doing? You do know David Mulugeta gets paid off you, right? What is David Mulugeta doing? Telling us. I understand David Mulugeta's job is to get all the money he can for his client, but David Mulugeta is also trying to get the money for himself too. What's going on, Darren Posey? Good to see you up in the crib. Mike, man, I'm ready for Thursday. Shoot, you too? Man, this man Shotty is A1. Let me read this comment. Let me read a couple more comments. Hey, Sue said, man, I love Shotty's mindset. This will pay dividends in the season. Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm telling you. I love it. Jerry said Ezekiel, who then gave him $50 million. Cut it out. Mike ain't going nowhere. I believe that too. But I do believe that if the Cowboys want to take it there, they could, but I don't think they are. Because I keep saying it. People don't understand it. Jerry loves Micah Parsons. I don't care what anyone says. Jerry loves Micah Parsons. Jerry got very thick skin. He know why Micah Parsons wrote the letter. I don't think he likes Micah Parsons wrote the letter, but Jerry ain't tripping. Jerry loves Micah Parsons. People who don't think he does, you're missing it. Mike McCain said that's exactly what comment I made earlier. If you can get a ranch with a barn and all his farm animals for Micah Parsons, then go ahead and do it. Yeah, it's true. All right, let me roll with some more of these. Let's roll with some more. Stephen White up in the crib. He said, I agree, G. Good to see you up in here. All right, let's get some more Shotty. Shotty is killing this interview. Shotty was prepared, y'all. Shotty was prepared for this interview today, and I love it. He was absolutely prepared.
John Machado with the Athletic. What did you guys like about La'el Collins? How do you think he fits for you guys?
He looks amazing. You know, I was here when LC came back a year or two ago, whenever it was, and
They talking about La'el Collins. Man, I saw some workout videos of La'el Collins. Man, this dude here. Shoot, La'el Collins must have knew this moment was coming. He ready.
when I saw him yesterday, I was like, wow, he's really he's thin in a good way. He looks like he's been busting his ass, and obviously the experience, we feel great about that. And it was good to see him. The guys were excited to see him, but just trying to add some veteran, presence in the offensive line. We're beat up a little bit over there, but it was good to see him, and he looks great.
And do you expect to have Tyler Smith out there today?
Yeah, I do. Yep, I do.
Nick Harris, 4-Star Telegram. Other than being on the sideline and on the field or in meetings or whatever, what value has Micah Parsons brought while y'all been at camp?
I see him teaching the young guys, man. I see him, leaning into, Donovan, teaching guys, hey, attack the offensive tackle this way. Hey, maybe counter with this, or hey, what'd you see there? You know, I mean, almost doing some coaching. I think that's really, really good. And you know, he does a really good job of, you know, his football instincts are really impressive. I mean, he's very, very smart, and he understands the game. And but I love the fact that he's trying to lead into those guys, lean into them, and get them kind of caught up. And you know, they listen because of obviously what he's done and how he's produced. And it's been fun for me to kind of look across the way and see him after maybe the ones leave, and he's got a couple of those guys he's talking to about different things, hand placement and stuff like that.
You guys have thrown a lot of different nickel options with the first team. What have you liked about that competition this week?
Love it. That's what we want. You know, again, we're moving some pieces around the secondary, as you guys have known and asked. You know, we're moving the pieces around a little bit. You know, Duran being back now has been good for him to get those reps. Again, Keemon Hall's made some really good plays for us. He's an excellent blitzer coming off the edge. That's something that jumps off the film at you. Zion has done a nice job for a young player. I think you see some of the skills that we saw coming out of Kentucky that we really liked. But we'll keep trying different, you know, groups and units. And the biggest thing from the nickel is the ability to communicate and talk. And I think offensively we're throwing a lot of things at them in terms of tempo, shifts, motions, things like that they're having to adjust to. And I will say that the communication has been very, very good from the nickels.
Tommy Yarsh, DallasCowboys.com. 34 days after Myles Garrett put in a trade request, he got a deal done. Yesterday was 34 days until you guys open against Philly. Do you feel like Mike will be on the field with you?
So you're just going to keep asking those questions. When I told you that, I'm just going to keep saying I'm not talking about Micah's contract situation. Mike is a competitor. And
Tell him, Shotty. So you're just going to keep asking these questions. I thought, yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. Because they feed off of the negative stuff. I guess they simply can't go right. Brian Schottenheimer refused to talk about the Micah Parsons stuff today. Let me read a couple of super chats here and a couple of comments that have caught my eye, kind of looking at the chat. Read these super chats first. Boy, this man Junior is on it. Junior said, Mulugeta trashing capitalism while raking in the dollars. Benefiting from capitalism. Benefiting from it while condemning it. Yep. And Michael needs to see that too. USMC. Appreciate that super chat. He said I would trade him he said I would trade him to New England. Might get several top first round picks, a second round pick, and some change. I wouldn't even deal with the devil. Whoa! Whoa! Yeah, I agree with the fact that the New England Patriots right now would probably be the team that would probably give the Cowboys the most for him because I think from what my understanding is, even before this, I think they made a play for him. Yes, sir. I saw you already, Darren Posey in the building. Appreciate you being in here, man. Mike, I agree. They're gonna hug it out once he signed that contract. No doubt about it. Let me see. I want to Mike McCain made a comment down here that I thought was very interesting. Mike McCain said the Cowboys have plenty of edge rushers and can survive without Micah Parsons. I said it, Mike McCain. They can. I've said it. If they wanted to, but let me tell you why they are not. People are not giving Jerry credit. Jerry loves Micah Parsons. I don't care what anyone says. James Slater already said there was talk of trading Micah Parsons. Who intervened? Jerry Jones. Jerry loves Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons doesn't let that letter loose unless he know that Jerry ain't gonna trade him. Now, if Jerry wasn't around, I bet you he wouldn't have gave that letter to Steven. He'd have gave that letter to Steven. All the Micah Parsons fans would be crying by Monday. If Steven was in charge solely, He'd have gave that letter to Stephen Jones. Micah Parsons fans would have been crying. He'd have been getting that bag somewhere else. He'd have been getting that bag somewhere else. Stephen ain't playing. I'm telling y'all, Stephen ain't playing. Stephen White said, but everything G is telling us is true. I'm just giving it to us the way it is. Michael Jerry. I saw this earlier, Darryl, when you said this, Michael to Jerry, leave me alone. He said, leave me alone. You're not my friend no more. You wait until he signed that contract, they're going to be friends again. What's going on, Antoine Jones? He said, who said Michael wrote the letter? I'm from Harrisburg. Michael's a diehard Cowboy. Well, nobody said he wrote the letter, but he posted it on his own social media. That's number one. Number two, I believe it's David Mulugeta who, whether it was written or approved, I think David Mulugeta is behind it. That's where I am. I think it's David Mulugeta. I do. The Kings. This is why people say a fan base is delusional. Now, the Kings, maybe you are in here late. I have said this multiple times, the Kings. The Cowboys need Micah Parsons just as much as Micah Parsons needs the Cowboys. Micah Parsons is not the team, but we need Micah Parsons. He's a great player. And with the team the Cowboys have constructed, he should be able to have a more productive, not stats. Micah has put up stats. But if you go back and look at the majority of his sacks, they are against three teams: the terrible New York Giants, the terrible Washington Commanders, and the terrible Carolina Panthers. Tell me the Kings, tell me his signature play. Tell me his big play against the big teams. Tell me the big plays he's made in the playoffs. He only has 1 sack in 4 playoff games. Jerry Jones has helped this man. Understand that, the Kings. I started this channel last year and I talked about it. Micah Parsons got his lunch taken from him against the New Orleans Saints. And he said after that game, I can't be the only one making plays. Because he wasn't making plays. He said, because they're doing everything to me. They're sending a running back, chipping me. They're putting a tight end on that side. They're double teaming me. They're doing everything to stop me. So if they're doing everything to stop me, then I need somebody else to make plays. So what did Jerry do? Donovan Ezeraku, Dante Fowler, Sam Williams healthy, Peyton Turner, Marshawn Neely. Jerry has went to great lengths. No, I'm pushing back. People say Cowboy fans are delusional because we're telling the truth. And I don't know, because I ain't heard nobody talking about this but me. Micah Parsons is not the team, the Kings. I'm sorry. He's not the team. And Jerry is genius. Jerry has actually built this team. Not so he can trade Micah Parsons. Jerry has built this team so that if Micah Parsons was to go down again, Jerry don't want to be in the same situation he was in before. You don't have no pass rusher if Micah Parsons goes down. No, Micah Parsons goes down, we got pass rushers. Micah ain't the team. We gotta stop acting like, what have we won with Micah? I can tell you what we won with Dak Prescott. Tell me when Micah Parsons was the cause of us winning a game in the playoffs. Jerry Jones, though, has went to lengths to put players around Micah Parsons to free him up to be a playmaker. Put some respect on this man's name. I don't know who the we are or who these people are. All I'm doing is telling you the truth. Put some respect on this man's name. Jerry has done this man a favor. He absolutely has. He's done him a favor. Anthony Beck, appreciate, boy, I like that avatar, man. You clean. He said, I'm actually looking at David Mulugeta with a side eye because there's no way in hell that Micah Parsons requests a trade if he had a different agent. Say it for the people in the back. I'm looking at David Mulugeta side eye, and I'm looking at Micah Parsons side eye too for allowing this agent to do this. I said it earlier, Anthony Beck. There are some things you just don't put in that letter. And the one thing I'm not putting in that letter is I don't want to be a Dallas Cowboy no more. I wish I would. Nah, bro, I ain't doing that. I'm not putting that in the letter. I'm not doing it. There are some things I might put in that letter. I'm not putting this in this letter because I love this team. Not letting nobody talk me into saying some stupid stuff like that. I love this team. I love this team. And I'm not going to let somebody, for the sake of a contract negotiation, have me. I want to be traded. I no longer want to be a Dallas Cowboy. I wish I would. Man, I'm telling you, I be thinking about myself in these situations. Hey, man, you know what? It's been a nice relationship, David Mulugeta. But for you to tell me to put this in this letter, you out of here, bro. I can't do it. You out of here. I'm not putting this in no letter. There's some things I'll put in the letter, but I'm not putting this in there. I ain't putting this in there. You fired. Ty Church in the crib, what's up? He said, I think they had a contract for $40 million and David wants $50 million per year. I tell you this, he gone. If I was Michael, he gone. Antoine Jones, yes, sir. Appreciate you in the crib. David Mulugeta, Anthony Beck. Boy, I love your statement. Nah, bro. He'd have told me to put something like that in the contract. Hey, man, you fired, bro. This ain't the Cleveland Browns. I can clearly understand why somebody say they don't want to play for the Cleveland Browns, New York Jets, Jacksonville Jaguars. You can go down the line. The Dallas Cowboys? Nah, you fired, bro. You fired. Stephen White said we have a $42 million players at $24 million price. Trade value and cap space alone, plus having a stacked edge room, makes it too tasty not to play it up. Man, I'm telling you, better be careful what you wish for. You mess around and be talking crazy. Shoot. TME the greatness. He said, I'm over this stuff with Parsons. Either get the deal done or Herschel Walker's test. Yes, sir. He said also the media ain't fair to Jerry. He did a good job. TME, I keep saying it. Man, this dude, Jerry, has been flawless. With the exception of this Micah Parsons stuff. Flawless. Flawless. D-Block 88. Are you okay with Micah being traded? No and yes. No and yes. No, I'm not okay with Micah being traded. But what I'm not okay with, D-Block, I'm glad you in the crib today. D-Block, what I'm not okay with is I'm not okay with a player that's about to be the second highest paid player on my team running around here talking about he want to be a leader, writing a letter to the owner, handing in basically the equivalent of a resignation, pouting because he doesn't have the contract he wants right now, saying he no longer wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. I'm not okay with that either. I'm not okay with him being traded, but I'm not okay with him saying he wants to be traded from the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with neither one of them. And for that very reason, that if somebody came along, D-Block, and they were offering the Herschel Walker trade for Micah Parsons, bring it. Bring it. If you're going to give me multiple first rounders, throwing in some 2s, some 3s, some 7s, and you're going to give me a player 2 or 3, and Micah said he don't want to be here, I'm not okay with it, but I'm okay with it because that's the business. And I don't want to create a situation on my team to where a player thinks he is the team. Nah, bro, you ain't the team. You ain't the team. So, no, I'm not okay with him being traded. But if he wants to get up out of here, then I'm letting him go. I'm letting him go. TME said, G, your name will be Coach G because you got the coach mentality. Appreciate you. I'm just saying. No, I don't want to trade him. But dang, it's crazy this dude says, hey, D-Block, I don't work for the Cowboys. I love the Cowboys. It's crazy to me this dude said he wanted to be traded from the team. Man, that's wicked work. That is wicked work. Just GTV. You said we haven't won anything with Dak either. We've won 2 playoff games. And in every playoff game, I can show you what Dak Prescott definitely performed. I can show you just GTV. You late to the party. Appreciate you being here. I've already broke down every single Dak Prescott playoff game. And Dak Prescott played extremely well in every playoff game. We crying about a turnover that Dak Prescott made in the first half of a football game, not the last minute of a game, in the second quarter of a game. Not even looking at the context of playoff games that the team have lost. They didn't lose those games because of Dak Prescott. I got news for you. You're late to the party. You're absolutely late to the party. Dak Prescott has played good enough to win playoff games. The problem is, in the majority of those games, the team around Dak Prescott has not played good enough. And Jerry has finally said, I'm going to put a team around this man, and we're going to do it different. I love it. All right, let's just check out some more Brian Shaw now. D Block 88. Boy, you said I work for you said I work for the Cowboys. I'm waiting on that check then. I'm waiting on that check.
I hope to see Mike out there soon. And when the business gets worked out, it gets worked out.
And then we saw some.
When the business get worked out, it gets worked out. This is what he told his team. Stay out this man's business. You got your own business, and we got business too. We are the Dallas Cowboys. This is the business. You have to be prepared to play without players like Micah Parsons, because players like Micah Parsons get in contract disputes. Straight up.
Some of the tight ends working with the tackles in practice the other day. How important is it for them to kind of be on the same page when they're in line together?
No, it's huge. I would say, actually, looking back on last year, that was one of the areas that we weren't very good at, Tommy, getting the tackles and tight ends to communicate and talk. And so we do different things, but those group periods where those guys work together is critical, because you're teaching these guys how to communicate, how to talk, how to share information. If you think about it, when you look at the way the game's played, the center gets up there, he addresses the ball, he makes a point, he has the communication, and then it's got to get passed up and down the line. One of the things that the music does, other than just, create energy, is it makes our guys have to truly talk, because it's a little loud at times, especially when we're on the far end down by the speakers. And those guys have really done a nice job. It's a credit to Connor and Clayton, and then, of course, L-Dub, that those guys are doing a much better job. But without those periods where they're working together and they're communicating, we're changing the looks on them from the front, whether it's a tackle bubble, tackle covered look. Without making them do that in a group period, it's never going to be as good as it should be in the team period. So that's why you do those drills.
Yeah. Y'all check this statement out. Man, this dude, Anthony Beck, let me see if I can find this comment Anthony Beck just made. Anthony Beck, let me see if I can find it. Now, he said the same thing that I said, but I'm laughing at what he said still. Anthony Beck said, who the hell in their right mind said they don't want to play for the Dallas Cowboys? Man, Anthony Beck, I'm telling you, boy, I said the same thing. I'm like, bro, do you know that your success off the field is dependent upon being a Dallas Cowboy? Micah Parsons' podcast ain't even a thing without him being a Dallas Cowboy. His name ain't even in the media longer than 15 minutes if he's not a Dallas Cowboy. Who in the hell is Anthony Beck? Who in their right mind? Mulughetto would have been fired as soon as he mentioned putting the letter in. I said the same thing. Bro, you out of here, man. I'm sorry, you out of here. You can't be my agent no more. I ain't putting this out, man. I ain't putting this out. There is no way that I'm going to tell somebody I don't want to be a Dallas Cowboy. Cam Newton said if I could go back and play for any team, it'd be the Dallas Cowboys. Catherine Kidd said, keep preaching. Stephen White, appreciate you. Just G, you got to learn to listen to statements. I said Jerry Jones has been flawless this season, with the exception of this Micah Parsons stuff. Are you not listening? With the exception of. Are you listening? Because you nor anyone else can tell me, what has Jerry Jones done wrong this season other than this Micah Parsons thing, not getting this contract done early? Jerry Jones hired Brian Schottenheimer. Jerry Jones hired the coaches that Brian Schottenheimer wanted, and I think Matt Eberflus was actually Jerry Jones' idea. Jerry Jones brought in all these players in free agency. Brought in players that are actually going to be impact players this season. Kyer Elam is going to be an impact player for the Dallas Cowboys this season. Dante Fowler is going to be an impact player for the Dallas Cowboys this season. Solomon Thomas is going to be an impact player for the Dallas Cowboys this season. Peyton Turner is going to be somewhat of an impact player for the Dallas Cowboys this season. Perrion Winfrey, whether you accept it or not, he is going to be a major player for the Cowboys this season. They're going to probably switch him over in there in the one tech. When you look at the draft, Jerry Jones went in there and wanted Tyler Booker. Jerry Jones stuck with the sheep, got Donovan Ezeraku. Jerry Jones and his team got Savon Revel Jr., Jaden Blue, Jay Toya, Phil Maffa. Go down the line of what this man has done. And Jerry Jones is the one who brought in George Pickens. So, just JGTV, tell me again, that's not flawless. Tell me that's not flawless. Jerry Jones has absolutely showed out this season for the Cowboys. They got Oso Digizua done early. They got Jake Ferguson done early. They're in contract talks with Ty Smith, Deron Bland. Deron Bland said as much. And I'm pretty sure Brandon Aubrey is in there too. The Cowboys are not only going to sign Micah Parsons at some point, they're going to probably sign Ty Smith and Deron Bland early. What are you talking about? I don't smoke, sir. I'm speaking facts. You don't have to like them. This man, Jerry Jones, has been flawless, with the exception of this Micah Parsons thing. He's been flawless. D-Block88, I appreciate this comment. So, this is why I push back on the Micah Parsons letter. Tell me where Jerry took shots. How was it a shot that Jerry stated a true fact? That just because you sign a player don't mean you're going to have him. He misspoke on Micah Parsons missing 6 games. I think he missed 4 games. He was exactly right on Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott got signed to the biggest deal in NFL history, didn't finish the season. Jerry was just stating a simple fact. Just because you sign a player don't mean that they're going to be playing for you. And then Watt get you some business. You're not a Dallas Cowboy. You don't play for the Cowboys. Then he says something to the effect of how encouraging is it that you're taking shots at the two best players. What was the shot? How did he take a shot? What did he say? Dak is no good. Michael's no good. Jerry came right back in the same conversation. Complimented Dak Prescott. Complimented Micah Parsons. Has said nothing but great and glowing things about Micah Parsons. How smart he is. Best player on the team. I disagree. But if Jerry want to say it, Jerry can say it. Tell me, anybody, what is the shot that Jerry Jones is taking at Micah Parsons? What's the shot? I'm telling us again, we got to stop letting the media tell us stuff. Because the narratives coming out about what's the narratives they've created about Micah Parsons? What if they say it? James Slater came out with this thing last night about some of the there was 2 years ago, some people talking about Micah being traded. She came out with this last night that there were people that complained about the podcast, which that actually wasn't news for anybody. She came out with that last night. What are the narratives that Micah Parsons is talking about? I'm telling you, the one thing I can say about this David Mulugeta and Micah Parsons issue, they have painted this man as a crybaby. You can't lead me, bro. You a crybaby. Tell me how many times Dak Prescott cried that they bought in Trey Lance. They tried to get Dak Prescott, tried to catch him up, interview. What do you think about Jerry bringing in Trey Lance? Did he talk to you? No, he didn't, but hey. I don't know why Jerry does what he does. It's his team. All I'm going to do is do what I do. I'm going to put my head down, play hard. That's what Jerry said. That's what Dak said. Dak wasn't crying about the fact, yeah, they got Trey Lance in here and they're disrespecting me with Trey Lance and blah, blah, blah. Dak didn't cry. Dak didn't do any of that. Dak didn't hold out. He didn't hold out. He didn't hold in. He practiced every day. Every day. Appreciate y'all moderators moderating. I'm just saying when we say this stuff, we got to be careful to not repeat what he's saying in the letter. Because when he first said these things, I was like, what stuff is he talking about? What are the narratives? Because it's not a narrative. You've proved that you went and talked to Jerry Jones and talked about your contract and then had the unmitigated gall to say, yeah, I don't know how it came about. So you're in the conversation less than a year ago and you don't know how it came about. Okay. On that note, I'm going to hear some more Brian Schottenheimer.
Joe White, Dallas Morning News. You've talked a lot about your coaching inspirations throughout your time being an assistant and obviously your dad. In terms of handling tough situations, kind of like we got right now, who inspired you and what lessons did you learn?
I think I took a little bit from everybody, Joe. My dad was always
TB1109 said there is no Michael in team.
always very forthright, very upfront. I think that's where I get my ability to have, real, authentic, sometimes hard conversations. But again, I think, at the end of the day, I'm who I am. And when I bring a player in, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, whether it's a hard topic, whether it's a great, exciting topic, whatever it is, I'm going to always be authentic. I'm always going to be true to who I am. And I don't shy away from having real conversations with these guys, just like I don't shy away from having real conversations with the coaches and my family, and that's just the type of person I am. I would rather get everything out on the table and have us at least understand where we're coming from on both sides of it. And at the end of the day, I can deal with that. And sometimes people like what I say, sometimes they don't. But at the end of the day, it's coming from a place of that I care, and I'm committed to doing what's best for this team to win a championship.
No Miles Sanders last practice. Are you expecting him to be out there today?
Yeah, I think I'll find out when I go in there a little bit today, but it could be a couple days for him. But again, nothing that we're worried about.
Jeff Gould with Fox 4. Forgive me for one more question on Micah, but you've talked about from the start when you took this role just how important relationships are to you. You spoke specifically with Micah about how you've been building that relationship going back years, even being on the offensive side of the ball. How grateful are you for that, and how much can that serve you in this situation?
I think that's a benefit, Jeff. I mean, I think the fact that I've been around and I know a lot of the players, and I'm not just whatever got the job late January. I'm not 7 months into this thing where I'm still getting. These guys have seen me from afar on defense. And on offense, really, from the time I was a consultant, but then being here the last couple of years, I think they know me. I think they know what I'm about. But again, you do as a head coach when you first take over and you've been on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, I've worked extremely hard at developing those relationships with the defensive guys that maybe I didn't know as well as the offensive players, strictly because I spent so much time with the offense. And that's why somebody asked the other day, like, why do you have the offensive coaches go and spend time with the defensive coaches during stretch and vice versa? It's not just to talk trash. It is to get to know them a little bit and to have some fun, because I know how important that is. And, I think it's I'm a relationship guy, man, and I'm never going to apologize for that. And some people think, oh, hey, maybe, he's soft. I can promise you I'm not soft. You guys saw that a couple days ago. But relationships are important to me because that's what makes the journey fun.
Mike Leslie, WFA, Kyrie Elam's had a terrific camp so far. There was a lot of conjecture in the offseason that, hey, maybe this is a guy that needs a fresh start. When I talked to him the other day, he said it was more so, hey, there's a coaching staff here that believes in you. How have you seen your interaction with him, your coaching staff's interaction with him, and how have you seen that support maybe lead to the results we're seeing?
Okay, I like the question. I like the question this guy's asking. Let me read a couple of comments. I'm not putting them on the screen, but I'm monitoring this from somewhere else, and I love the fact TME. Let me read some of these. I love them. TME Greatness says Parsons getting all the smoke, and keep showing why he gets the smoke. Pure Gaming, boy. Let me tell you something. These statements I love. I love what y'all are saying, boy. In the chat, this is just so insightful. Pure Gaming says something that is just, man, this is a powerful question right here. Pure Gaming said, let me see. I want to put it up on the screen, but it's so far back here, but I'm reading it from where I am. It says, Pure Gaming says, I wonder if Micah feels kind of awkward at practice today. I know I would. I would feel very awkward coming to practice today. I don't see how you put a letter out like that and you don't feel a certain type of way. I don't see how you do it. I couldn't do it. I would be seriously struggling. I would. Richard Owens, what's going on? He said if Jerry wants to win with him being in control, he needs to create Micah and Diggs because they believe that I'm pretty sure he's saying something else here. He said because they believe they are the team and that they are above all others. They do seem to have that kind of attitude. But they're going to show Micah better than they can tell him this year. I mean, not Michael. They're going to show Trey. They're going to show Trayvon Diggs better than they can tell him. They're going to show him better than they can tell him. Because Trayvon Diggs, I do not believe he's going to be here. Now, I don't believe Trayvon Diggs is going to be here. Yeah, Trayvon Diggs is going to be up out of here, I believe. This is last season with the Cowboys. So he better come back and ball out because he's auditioning for other teams. But I appreciate those comments because I just wonder how would a person feel after this is the one from TME Greatness. I'm just wondering, like, man, how do you come back to practice after that? How do you come back to practice and like act like it's no big deal? Pure Gaming says, again, let me put it on the screen. I mean, how do you not feel awkward after saying you don't want to be with the Dallas Cowboys no more? I'm telling you right now, I'm a different type of individual. I'm not writing that unless I mean it. I'm not letting anybody put that out unless I mean it. And if I put that out, I promise you, I wouldn't step another day in camp. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. I'm not gonna tell you and not show you. I wouldn't step another day in camp. Big D Media said having Micah hadn't made our run defense any better. He's a great pass rusher, but struggles against big old lines that are physical in the run game, and that's been proven. I said the same thing, Big D, and people got mad at it. And the reason is, it's exactly what you're saying. Micah's a great pass rusher, but he's not a pure defensive end. That's the difference. He's not a pure defensive end. And I hope after the Cowboys get his deal done, once he gets his money, the Cowboys would really help themselves to alternate Marshawn Nealon out with him on early downs and keeping him fresh for the passing downs. Why have him out there on the rundowns? You're risking injury. Because when he gets caught up in those scrums, he gets caught up in those double teams that they're doing when they're running aggressively at him. Brian Broaddus already said 60% of our runs, 60% of the runs against us were on the edges. Well, if you know that, then on the early downs, take Micah Parsons off the edge. And you're going to have to mix it up because once teams, they're going to take him off on first down, they'll just start passing. But you got to kind of mix it up. There have to be times where you say, we're going to not play him on the edge because we want to stop the run. And you got enough depth to do that now. And I think it would behoove them. Keep him fresh. Keep Micah Parsons fresh. He don't have to play every down anymore. You got enough players, he don't have to play every down. I'm all for Micah Parsons getting his money. Now play him smart. You talked about him getting hurt. Well, if they're going to double team him all the time because they're going to run right at him or whatever the case may be, how about you alternate him in and out and keep him fresh? And I like what Eberflus said. They asked him, what is he going to do with Micah Parsons? He said he's going to rush the passer. So I'm very interested to see how are they going to use him. How are they going to use him? All right, let's check out this man, Brian. He's spitting up in here today.
Well, first of all, I love that because I think that's so important. You know, part of our job as coaches is to build confidence, to make these guys know that we believe in them. And it doesn't matter if the first guy on the big board or the 91st guy, like all these guys can play. All these guys can help us win. And it's our job to do that. I mean, we talk about Tyler Guyton, you know. Tyler Guyton knows that we think he can be elite, all-pro left tackle. And does that make a difference? Hell yeah, it does. Because when you talk to Tyler Guyton about that, or you talk to Kyer about what a great camp he's having, man, you know, you're seeing things so well. You're reinforcing to him the things that he's already feeling by his performance on.
This man Joe Cap said 40 million, your butt on special teams and everything. Boy, hey Joe Cap, you said once I pay you 40 million, man, you even holding them, you gonna hold up the first down markers and everything when you ain't on the field. Joe Cap said he getting his money worth out of Micah Parsons.
On the field, but you're letting him know that we as coaches and we as the experts per se that spend all the time watching the film and evaluating, we see it as well. And so it doesn't mean you don't coach them hard. It doesn't mean you don't correct them. But every chance we get to really talk to these guys about what their ceiling is, and man, we just see it, man. And you should be confident. You are playing great. We'd be missing an opportunity if we didn't take advantage of that.
Shoot, Darren Posey said he passing out Gatorade for 40 million.
Nicole Hutchison, Dallas Cowboys TV. Troy Pride's been also a guy that's been making plays for you throughout camp. Just how pleased have you been with his consistency so far?
Yeah, great word, consistency. Love the athlete, man. Love the change.
Well, y'all got to be rolling, man. Shoot, Newhouse regulator said 40 million. Shoot, he said he holding the clipboard. Oh man, oh boy, y'all gotta be rolling. Darren said he said he waving towels and driving Jerry out on the field. Boy, y'all crazy. Man, y'all crazy. But you know, it's funny, man. They're talking about Kyer Elam. I'm telling you, Kyer Elam is going to make Trayvon Diggs expendable. I believe. I really think he's going to make him expendable. I do, and he's having an insane camp. He's been the best. I mean, really, I think he's been the best cornerback in the doggone in the doggone camp. He's been good. Rubowski said, "Don't forget." He said he driving the bus. He said he gonna drive the bus to the airport and to the stadium.
Change of direction. Love the quickness that he's shown. And then you talk about just a competitive guy. You know, he plays till the whistle's over, and he's one of those guys that it gets a little chippy in there with him. But again, you guys know me. I love guys that have a chip on their shoulder, and I think TP plays with a chip on his shoulder, and it's very evident when you watch him play. And he'll be that way a little bit today because we're in pads, and it'll be good with our guys kind of thudding around a little bit today.
Robert M said he gonna wash cars in the parking lot for that $40 million. Man, hey, I'm telling you, Quinshawn Blake, ice cold cowboy. This dude, Kyer Elam, is, man, I'm telling you, this dude camp has been crazy. This dude on first team, pass breakups, interceptions. This dude has been great for the Cowboys. And I knew when the Cowboys got him after going back and watching film on him, I said, nah, man, this dude, Kyer Elam, he got a bad deal in Buffalo. This dude is going to be great for the Cowboys. And he is going to be one of the reasons why I believe the Cowboys are not bringing back Trayvon Diggs, amongst other reasons. But because of his play, they're not bringing him back. I don't think they're going to bring him back.
Bill Jones, CBS Texas, you talk about positive coaching, instilling confidence in your players. Is there someone from your past who did that for you, either growing up or college or anything that...
Pete was that way. I mean, Pete Carroll. Coach Spurrier wasn't as much that. He was, depending on, during the week, he was kind of that way. And on game day, it was, Jekyll and Hyde. And I love him to death. You guys know that. I've told a lot of stories about him. I've learned some swear words from Coach Spurrier on game day that I didn't, and you guys know I do swear too much. But I'd say the two guys that jump out at me in terms of that type of deal would be Pete Carroll and Dan Quinn. Two guys I'm very close with, two guys that
y'all know what's diabolical to me? Brian Schottenheimer was the OC for Mike McCarthy, and I thought they had a really good relationship from what everybody's saying. But every time he talks about a coach on the Cowboys, I notice he keeps talking about Dan Quinn. He must, I mean, it's obvious. He says he's good friends with him. He really liked Dan Quinn. And I think some of the things we see from him too, I think he's gotten some things from Pete Carroll. I also think he got some things from his father too. But man, it's kind of crazy to me that when he talks a lot about Dan Quinn rather than Mike McCarthy. Katharina Kiss, she said, hit that like button. Hold on a second, Antoine. Antoine got my attention. Hold on a second. I like this comment by Antoine. Hold on, let me go to it. Antoine Jones, you have got my attention. Then I'm going to go to the super chats. Antoine Jones said, name a cornerback on our roster that did what Trayvon did. I'll wait. DaRon Bland. Trayvon Diggs ain't never had a season like DaRon Bland. You ain't gonna have to wait long. DaRon Bland upstaged Trayvon Diggs. DaRon Bland is the reason why the Cowboys are even saying we don't need to bring Trayvon Diggs back. DaRon Bland made history with interceptions and interception returns. Trayvon Diggs ain't been Trayvon Diggs since he got that contract. You want to know who Jerry Jones is talking about? I read it at the beginning. Jerry Jones gave a contract to Trayvon Diggs, who since he got that contract has not played on that contract hardly. Don't worry, you ain't got to wait long, Antoine Jones. You ain't got to wait long. Yeah, tell me who did get a deal. Tell me who did get a deal and ain't hardly played on it. Tell me who got a $97 million deal. And with all the guaranteed money, he's barely been on the field with the guaranteed money. He got the deal, got hurt, came back, got hurt again. Man, I'm like Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? I ain't thinking about what Trayvon Diggs did 2 or 3 seasons ago. DaRon Bland upstaged this man. Straight up upstaged him. Trayvon Diggs ain't had the season that DaRon Bland had. After that season DaRon Bland had, shoo, the Cowboys said, we don't need Trayvon Diggs. You do know who Savon Revel Jr. is, right? He's the Trayvon Diggs replacement. He's the Trayvon Diggs replacement. Diggs is done in Dallas, I'm telling you. And rightfully so. Not because I don't like Diggs. Diggs has been injured for 2 years, and we don't know what he's going to be after this chondral bone graft surgery. And after the shenanigans he's been pulling, man, I'm telling you, it is funny to me how people try to get these players to do stuff that they wouldn't do in their own real life. Yeah, Trayvon Diggs, if that's what he needed to get healthy, then he should just let him work out where he want to. Strange to me, Marion Overshawn worked out with the same training staff, came back early, and had no problems. Strange to me that nobody else has a problem with this training staff. These other 2 players that have worked with them. Nate Thomas has come back, no problem. Dak Prescott worked with the same training staff, no problem. Why is it that Trayvon Diggs felt like he was so special that he needed individual attention? Man, Bland did what this dude did and then some. Man, this dude Diggs ain't even on thin ice. He out of here. Antoine, you said he came close, but he didn't have Everson Walls. Man, ain't nobody gonna do what Everson Walls did. But Trayvon Diggs, he didn't do what DaRon Bland did. DaRon Bland had a season that was out this world. Out this world. He was killing it. And I'm telling you, he's one of the reasons why this dude is expendable. They don't want, Diggs done. I'm telling you. Diggs done. Diggs is done. I'm telling you. And when we look at him, this dude was getting toasted last year. Diggs is done. I'm telling you. C-Bay said having Diggs, Bland, and Gilmore was legendary. Too bad we ain't getting to see it on the field. It was a dream that never came true. It was the dream that never came true. Now, C-Base, we might get a great, we might get to see a great secondary. DaRon Bland, Savon Revel Jr. Wait, let me go back. We might actually get to see a really good secondary, as in Kyer Elam, DaRon Bland, Trayvon Diggs, Savon Revel Jr. If Trayvon Diggs can come back and be Diggs, because he has not been Diggs for 2 seasons. If Trayvon Diggs can come back and be Diggs, DaRon Bland can be Bland, stay healthy. Kyer Elam playing with a chip. And then Savon Revel Jr. gets healthy and come. Man, you might be talking about a shut down secondary. Hey, I'm hoping Diggs gets back to being Diggs. I have nothing against Diggs. I hope he gets back to being Diggs. But it's the nature of the game. His contract says they're not bringing him back. This is the last year of his guaranteed money. He's been hurt the last 2 seasons. The Cowboys didn't, we talk about what people owe a player. So did they owe Trayvon Diggs for not barely playing the last 2 seasons? And he's going to miss a part of this season too? Did they owe him that money? Well, whatever the case may be, I'm not mad at them getting their money. The Cowboys have not got their money's worth out of Diggs the last 3 seasons. And that's because of injury. That's the nature of the game. He can't be here no more. For that reason alone, he can't be here no more. The Cowboys aren't going to take any more chances on Diggs. I don't think they're going to take any more chances. I don't think they're going to take any more chances on Diggs. If Diggs has a good season this year, the Cowboys will be happy because they can trade him. They can trade him. Joe Cap said Diggs is soft. He definitely don't want to tackle. Oh, let me read these super chats. Y'all forgive me. He definitely don't want to tackle. Man, Junior dropped a bomb right here. Watch this. Junior dropped a bomb. I talked about this earlier. These agents are going to ruin the NFL like they ruined the NBA. Junior. People don't realize it, Junior. The NBA don't have a big following like it used to. They ruined the NBA a few years ago with this same stuff you're talking about, putting players over the whole association. Basketball, the ratings have been down year over year over year over year. Nobody cares about it. And I'm not saying nobody cares about it, but it is nowhere near what it used to be. It starts by elevating players over the team. Fans are falling for it. Junior. I see an insane future where agents, and I hope it don't come true. I see an insane future where agents are going to be sitting in the NFLPA negotiations. I see it coming. I do. I see it coming. If these owners in the NFL don't find a way to stop these agents are going to run the NFL. Oh, EJ Humble, this man just dropped a megaton bomb. EJ Humble. This is all Dan Quinn's fault. Micah should have been the highest paid dominating linebacker right now. Yep. Convinced him to put him in edge rusher. Yep. Straight up facts on that one, bro. That's a megaton bomb. Darren Posey said Michael sent the wrong letter to the media. This man Darren Posey is crazy up here. This dude Darren Posey is crazy. Darren Posey said Michael sent the Darren Posey up in here talking about Michael sent the wrong letter to the media. He sent the letter Diggs wrote to Steven. Darren Posey, you know what? It's funny what you're saying, but it actually makes sense. Because if there is anybody who could truly say narratives being put out by the team, it's Trayvon Diggs. If there's anybody that can say that they've been taking shots at him, I don't even know if you call it shots. The Joneses has been flat out going at Trayvon Diggs. I mean, saying his name. No insinuation, no inflection. They have been killing Trayvon Diggs. Killing this man. Talking about his rehab. Boy, you was 100% right, boy. Boy, if there's anybody, Darren Posey, that letter actually should have been for Trayvon Diggs and Stephen Jones. Straight up, boy. Straight up, man. All right, let's finish up Brian Schottenheimer. Boy, I appreciate y'all, boy. Y'all gotta be rolling today. Let's finish up Brian Schottenheimer.
You know, we've spent a lot of time together, and But it's not even that. I think, I've shared with you guys 4 or 5.
Hey, Patrick and Lethua Prentice. I'm gonna put this up in a moment, but you said that's factual. Quinn messed up his career, moving him to edge rusher. Now hold on, watch this though, Patrick. Not only did he mess up Micah Parsons' linebacking career, I can't say he necessarily messed up his career because he's about to be the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. But you know who else career he messed up? Mozzie Smith. Dan Quinn destroyed Mozzie Smith's career. Destroyed it. Dan Quinn, Mike McCarthy didn't want him. They draft him anyway. They make him lose weight. He's too light. Can't perform like he once did. Got with Zimmer. Got back heavy. Now he's with Matt Eberflus, who seems to be similar to Dan Quinn. Now he's skinny again. Well, for him, he's skinny again. He messed up Mozzie too. Yep, he messed up Mozzie too. Derek G, I think I'm gonna try to tonight. I may try to do it tonight. But I'm telling you, yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah. Great comment.
6 years ago, I was kind of a little bit down and dejected. I think when I was leaving Seattle about man, I've missed my opportunity maybe to be a head coach. And I did a really deep dive into myself and what really mattered to me. And I looked back and I said,
I'm coming to you, Ron Bowski.
About winning the national championship in Florida was more of the people. I don't remember the exact score of the game when we beat Florida State. I don't remember the score of the game, the first game of the year. But I remember times in the locker room, hanging out with my teammates, James Bates, Lawrence Wright, Sammy McCorkle, Ike Hilliard. I mean, I remember that. And so it's the people side of it. And I think sometimes in today's day and age, you get caught up in the madness of the business and everything, and you realize that, what matters and what you're going to remember is the people side of it. And I think that's why, I have not had the chance to really look at it, but why I love Hall of Fame weekend so much is because I think you see these incredible athletes and they finally get the call to go into the Hall of Fame. And it's like they realize as they're looking out over not only their families and the fans and the people that helped them get there, but they're looking at, again, their peers and the ones that they played with and alongside. And that's what matters, man. It really is what matters. And so, yeah, that's kind of the way I'm wired.
Louis Scruggs, NBC5. You mentioned the Rams coming in here. What do you use that practice time for your running backs to get your evaluations about where you're going to stop these guys and going into the season?
Yeah, you do. You get a ton out of it, number one. I mean, I have a ton of respect for Sean and his staff, and they were so easy to work with last year when we had the scrimmage against them. But in terms of the running backs, right, you're looking at different fronts. You're looking at different matchups. You're looking at different linebackers. Like, our guys are kind of getting a feel. There's a scouting report out on each other, right? Like, if you're Javonte and all of a sudden Sanborn's going to blitz, like you kind of have an idea because they've been going against each other for so long. Okay, he's going to take me on with his near pad, or, hey, he's going to fake left and go right. So I think it's just going up against a different jersey, going up against.
Hold on, let me get my sister in here. Hold on, let me see something here. Miss Matrix, hold on. Let me go back. I didn't see you in here. Hold on. Katharina said I glazed over comments. I was trying to see. I mean, not Miss Matrix did. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, Miss Matrix. I'm finna come to you in just a moment. Hold on a second. Miss Matrix got me rolling up in here. She said I'm missing the comments. I can't. You've been here. You one of my faithful from the beginning. Hold on a second. Katharina got me laughing. I mean, Miss Matrix got me laughing up in here. Hold on. Let's see. Miss Matrix, let me see if I can go back. I can see him on this other thing I'm looking at. I might not be able to find him on here. I might have to read him straight out. You got me laughing in here. Let's see. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think Miss Matrix, she might be biased a little bit. Nisi said the prophet has spoken. I appreciate it, my sister Nisi. Hold on. Nisi said, hold on a second. Miss Major said, hold on a second. She said, okay, yes. Bland is a top corner and made history with the pick sixes. She said, but let's be real, y'all. Bland has not been that guy against top receivers. She said, DK ate this dude alive. Okay. But it's the next comment that you made that got me laughing up in here. Miss Major said, we just not about to be disrespecting Diggs even though Bland is fired. Miss Majors, I think you got a crush on Trayvon Diggs. But I could be wrong. Now again, hey, I'm telling us, Deron Bland had a heck of a season. And Trayvon Diggs just hadn't been the same. He just has not been the same since those injuries. And maybe he can I'm going to Newhouse regulators think he talking about tackling. He said Diggs tackles baby mamas and side pieces. Yeah, he won't tackle on that field though. Yeah, Todd Church said, I want to see Elam, Bland, and Diggs. That's what I was just mentioning, Todd Church. Elam, Bland, Diggs, and Savon Revel Jr. We might be able to see a great secondary out there for the Cowboys around mid-season. We might be able to see them. I like the comments y'all made at the end about this thing with Mozzie Smith. I like what y'all said about Mozzie Smith. Somebody said it's not Dan Quinn's fault. Let me see what Rumbowski. He said, I'm not sure how Mullaget and his team would have let Micah post that letter. As long and incoherent as it was, just like that. Foolish move. Rumbowski, it's a crazy letter, bro. I would have never let him write that letter. Never. See, C-Base is crazy. C-Base said he sang that letter. Crazy. Oh, man. Oh, boy. 5 Points Store said he did nothing but cause a scene. Boy, y'all got me rolling. Patrick said again, Quinn messed up his career, moving him to edge rusher. Got him paid, though. Got him paid. Newhouse said, if I was Micah, I would just sign a contract, need to worry about. Newhouse, you keep getting me on these comments, man. Newhouse said, I would just sign a contract, need to worry about that chewed up hairline. Boy, y'all stop it, boy. Quasi Blake said, I would trade Parsons to the Titans or Jags. We might get the first pick in the next 2 drafts. You probably would. Yeah, you probably would. Derek G, I'm going to try to do Cowboys after dark. Big Rumbowski said, he said it had nothing to do with Quinn. Michael simply wanted to play edge rusher because that's where the big money is at defense in today's NFL. It is. It is. Robert Dudley said, screw him. I'm gonna tell you, Ice Cold Cowboy, I'm actually going to get me one of them visors, man. Robert Simmons, I like this. He said, G, it was not Dan Quinn's fault. He had to work with what he had. The Joneses' fault for not getting him the players he needs. Touche. Yeah. They didn't want him. I don't think neither Dan Quinn nor Mike McCarthy wanted him. 5 points to the star. He said Quinn sabotaged Dallas. That's what Stephon Gilmore said. Miss Matrix, I got you. She said he stayed glazing over my comments. He gonna force me to super chat. I got you, Miss Matrix. EJ said he fell in love with Michael's speed off the edge. That's what happened. Michael wound up rushing the passer, I think, in camp, and he fell in love with the speed off the edge. And y'all already know Dan Quinn likes the smaller, faster type of guys. Hallelujah says, so it wasn't Jerry and McCarthy's fault who allowing it to go on. Yep, they were at fault too. I don't see how the Otis is on Dan not by himself. And I guess the word we're going to use is they were all complicit. Yeah, they were all complicit on this thing. And Mozzie is, I don't know if he's a failure yet, but he has not lived up to expectations to this point. He has not lived up to the expectations. Derek Posey, I said the same thing. Major said, stay away from Diggs. If he looks at you, you'll be a Stop it. Boy, you and Newhouse keep getting me on these comments. You'll be a baby mama number 8. Yeah, Miss Major said chill. Chill. All right. My sister Deezy, she said, y'all notice they rested Bland and slowly working him back. But Diggs, Uncle Steve said, get your pay put on that field with all that mouth. Straight up, Niecy. Straight up, Niecy. And let's go even further. Niecy. Oh, the training staff here wasn't good enough for you. So the training staff that you got is better than ours. Get your butt out here. Get your butt out here on the field. Yep. That's exactly what they're saying, Niecy. You get your butt out here on the field. You said that your rehab guys were better. Get your butt out here. Get your butt out here. Yep. That's exactly what they're saying. Antoine Jones, you would be the same if you played hurt. And they said Deion couldn't tackle. But have you seen Diggs or Deion miss a tackle? I've seen Diggs miss plenty of tackles. But Deion tackled better than people gave him credit for. Deion actually did tackle. Deion just wasn't tackling head on. But again, I'd be honest with you, Antoine Jones, I wouldn't play hurt. I wouldn't play hurt. I mean, I don't know what that would mean for teams. I just wouldn't play hurt because my body is, not only is your body a temple, but in football, your body is the moneymaker. Because when you're hurt, nobody wants to hear excuses. Nobody wants to hear excuses. So the best bet is not to play hurt. Don't do it. You get on that field when you're healthy and you play 100%. But if you're hurt and you're out there getting your socks toasted, nobody wants to hear you're hurt. Nobody wants to hear it. Nope. You get on that field, that means you can play. Straight up, you can play. All right, let's finish up with Brian Schottenheimer.
Getting some different looks, some different fronts, and Sean and his staff have been great to work with, and they're a damn good football team. They're physical. We'll be smart with who we play in the preseason. So it's a chance for you to get a lot of really, really good work with maybe some guys that aren't going to play in the preseason.
Dak not playing in the preseason.
Again, just he and I talked 2 days ago, and we've kind of finalized the practice schedule, and it should be a hell of a competition.
Don't be shocked if you don't see Dak, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Cooper Beebe, Ty Smith. Don't be surprised. You might not see guys like this. We might not see we're not going to see, I don't think we're going to see a lot of starters in the preseason. I don't.
Halfway through these 16 practices at camp, anything you really like, anything you don't like that you want to change up going into the second half of camp?
I think we're taking care of the football better. I like that. I think early on we were turning it over a little bit too much. I think offensively the big plays are starting to show up. We're starting to connect on those. You guys asked me about that the other day. That normally takes time. I love the energy. I love the physicality. I've talked about how we're trying to create calluses and things like that. And I love all the reps we're getting. I mean, really, we're going to mix in a little bit of 7-on-7 and 9-on-7 at some point. But, I mean, we're getting upwards of 65 to 68, 70 plays of 11-on-11. And it's been really, really good. And we're getting a lot of guys rolling through. And the evaluation process is ongoing. And, again, that doesn't slow down as you get, into these game week preps. Preseason's not about pulling back. It's about pressing ahead, and that's kind of what we'll do.
For a guy like John Stevens, he's had a couple of bad drops, but he's come off of such a rigorous last couple of years. What's the message to him?
Yeah. Hey, you're growing. You're getting back. It's almost like going through a version of rehabilitation. You've done the rehab to get your body to where you can be out on the field, and now you're running and your body's going so fast, and you're like, oh man, I'm open. I'm going to catch this, and then you want to catch it and you want to turn up field, and so you drop it. There's zero concerns about his ball skills. He's got elite ball skills.
But, Michael ain't playing in the preseason.
You point out the great things he's doing. Guys like that, you always point out the things that they're doing really well and how amazing it is that you're back already and you didn't start on PUP. And, man, what a testament to you. And, hey, you're going to kick the rust off, and don't worry about that. And that goes a long way with these guys.
All righty. You got one more? Sorry. It's an easy one. About Micah. No.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Next.
You had a stay day yesterday, I believe. Why do you continue that? What do you like?
Yeah, I've told these guys that if they give me everything that we want as a coaching staff in terms of the energy and the running and the chasing and the pursuit and all that stuff, that we will take care of them and give them days like that where we're going to meet. We're going to give you a chance to catch up on film. That's the other thing, that the meetings get longer, and so you're able to kind of stay up to par and get caught up on some of the film. But let's take care of these guys, and you got 91 guys, whatever, and so the resources they do get spread thin at times, and so it's about the focus of, okay, we're not practicing today, but you are competing every day to get your body back to where it is, so we can throw a hell of a practice today. Say again?
Big on having a vet day.
No, I mean, again, there's different versions of what is a vet day. Do you just not go out there with any stuff on? There's different versions of that. Some guys you want to be smart with. It's a physical game, but no, we're a team and we're a family, and therefore we're going to try to act that way all the time. Are there certain things that do change it from time to time? Of course, but no, we like having everybody out there working and watching and leaning into one another. Good. Thank you, guys.
Shot up quick. They're all trying to get me. What if I go this way? I can't get out.
All right, glad we got that in with Brian Schottenheimer. So it looks like the Cowboys are practicing today. I'm going to go ahead and take a break. And then at some point today, at some point tonight, I will be back. I think I may do Cowboys After Dark tonight. Let me make sure I got all the super chats out of the way before we sign out of here. Appreciate y'all rocking with me today. We're gonna rock some more with this. Okay, got all the super chats out of the way. Appreciate y'all rocking with me today. Man, special edition, boy, y'all excited. The season is getting ready to start. Season's getting ready to start. This Micah Parsons stuff is going to be in the rearview mirror in about 3 weeks. We're going to have a great season. Cowboys going to be out here balling. And man, we beat them Eagles that first game. Oh, it's going to be crazy up in here. It's going to be crazy up in here, man. Again, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. We coming up on the 1-year anniversary of Let's Talk Cowboys. I got to look at my first video and see when the exact date was of when we started it. But we're going to be having a 1-year anniversary for Let's Talk Cowboys coming up real soon. We're going to be doing giveaways, trivia, all kinds of stuff. We're going to see what we can put together. But it is going to be absolutely awesome as it can be online. But we're going to have ourselves a great time. Appreciate all the moderators moderating. Appreciate all of y'all who've been rocking with me. So many of y'all been rocking with me from the very beginning. And y'all are the very reason why this channel continues to grow. I just encourage y'all to just continue to like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Y'all keep sharing this channel with your friends, telling people about this channel, telling them about this Cowboys community that we have put together. Y'all are the best chat on YouTube. Y'all keep me laughing, keep me going. And so again, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. We're going to get this thing back up tonight at some point. We'll look at some of the best plays from the day. I'm pretty sure there'll be more player interviews, and they're going to probably bombard these players with the Micah Parsons questions. And so there'll be more things coming out. So we're going to come back with it again tonight. Might as well do it tonight. Again, I appreciate y'all rocking with me on this special edition of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Y'all hit that like button on the way out. I'll see y'all later on again today or tonight, whatever the Lord bless me with. Again, until the next time, Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.